It is crazy to think about life. Like, I don't know, like where we're gonna be in the next like 5 years. Shit, dude, I could like be married in 5 years. Who knows?
You could have kids in 5 years.
You could be homeless in 5 years.
Bro,
Dude.
yeah.
Thanks, Darren.
Shit, you could be dead.
That's what I like to hear sometimes.
I'm John.
I'm Alfonso.
I'm Darren.
And I'm Will. Welcome to the Scat Cast. And we don't know either.
We sure don't.
Never have, never will.
Today, we have a very special guest. We have Will.
What's up, guys?
There you go. Been friends with him since probably like what, 6th, 7th grade? At least personally.
It's been a minute, dude. Me and John have known each other for a while. It's been since, middle school, elementary school.
Always the
something
other
like
guy
that.
in the friend group who was white with long hair and everything.
Yeah, we were the token white guys.
Yeah, he makes it sound like it's like
Yeah, I mean, in our friend group,
That's kind of how it is.
yeah, I mean, our friend group, it really was how it was set up.
We're just
yeah.
we're just such progressive guys. We only hang out with people that aren't white, you know? Like,
Yeah, you know, I always stand in solidarity with every group. I know you do as well. You know, making sure everything's set up good. You know, you had the My Chemical Romance days and everything back in the day.
For sure.
I
don't know if they ever ended, but you know.
Oh, okay, all right. My fault. I can't disrespect you like that. But yeah, how you feeling today? How's everything going?
Dude, I'm feeling good. I'm coming in with an open mind, you know? Ready to yap, dude. I don't have anything in mind. I think I'm just good at yapping.
Yeah.
How'd y'all meet?
Meat?
Yeah.
Meat?
How'd y'all meet?
Oh, I thought you said let's talk about meat. I was like, what the fuck? We met through Alex probably, I'm guessing. I mean, we just had a lot of mutual friends.
No,
and
I know exactly how we met.
what?
It's because this would have been in like the 4th or 5th grade, dude.
That's far back. I didn't know I met you in 4th grade.
Dude, no, because you shaved your head for $20.
You did what?
Let me paint
Wait,
a picture
you never
for
knew I shaved my head?
No, you didn't tell me this shit.
Please tell me you have a photo of that.
Let me paint a picture for y'all.
I got a picture of it somewhere for
like
sure.
we're in, I don't know, it was like some like math class or something, or like I couldn't tell you. I don't remember. It was so long ago. But I just remember like one day, like we were in the same class, but I don't think we ever like really talked or anything like that.
Yeah.
And like one day this kid just walks in, like head like shaved, because you always had long hair.
Yeah.
Walks in, head
Yeah.
completely shaved, like bald, like straight up like Professor X type shit. Like he was bald. And I was 10 or whatever. I thought this kid had cancer. Like I genuinely thought that like this kid had cancer, and I was like, oh my god.
I've
like,
heard that from multiple people too.
I was like, holy fuck, because like it was just so random. I was like, dude, like is this kid been like battling and like we don't know? Like this is insane. And then we just found out that he just shaved his head for $20. Like I don't think
What
it
an
was worth it, bro.
introduction,
Like,
bro.
Okay, so for context,
that's just my first memory of you. I don't think we even like talked
We
about
probably
it or
never
anything.
talked. I'm sure you talked
I
about
was like,
me a
what
lot,
the
but
fuck?
Who is this guy?
nah. So I remember this. I'm not going to name any names here.
Chris
but,
Singleton.
Oh, okay. Well, fuck. So we were talking about some stuff, and I forget how it came up, but he bet me. He dared me to like shave my head for $20.
Yeah.
I went ahead and I did it. My mom was like, "Are you sure you want to do this? Are you sure?" And then I was like, "Yeah." I mean, I didn't want to like tell her why I was doing it for $20 or whatever. She was like, "Are you sure?" I was like, "Yeah." I just really want to shave my head. I just really want to shave my head.
So how did what were the logistics? Like
Yeah.
did you do it yourself?
No, my mom did it for me.
Okay.
She was like the entire time. She's like, "Are you sure you want to do this right now?" Like,
Because I was about to say, like, if you went to like Great Clips or something, like that's like a $20 haircut right there, and then you're just netting zero. Like,
Exactly,
and
yeah.
you're bald.
no, I mean, so my dad used to shave his head back then too.
Okay.
I might have said that. I might have said like, "Oh, I want to have my head shaved like my dad" or something.
That's okay. There you
Your dad
go.
sound like a convict.
So, I mean, he used to say he did it so he would like look crazy to people who never met him before.
Interesting take.
Yeah,
I can respect that.
because that's before he had glasses and stuff too.
Yeah.
But I shaved it, and then I went to school, and I remember I shaved it. I went up to, I guess you already name dropped him, Chris, and I was like, "Yeah, man." So I shaved it. Where's the $20? He was like, "I never said it was gonna be $20. What the fuck?" I never got the money. Like he
dick.
said, yeah, he said he was
To
never
this
gonna give me the
day?
money. Yeah,
Maybe you should hit up Chris Singleton and ask him for your $20.
someone I haven't talked to since like the 4th grade.
Where's
Just
my
be
money,
like,
Chris?
Yeah, it's like,
Where's
oh,
my
yeah,
money?
give me the money. Give me the
Remember
money.
that time I shaved my head bald for $20 and you didn't give it to me?
Mm-hmm.
That's some comedic shit right there. You usually like you double down on like, nah, we're doing this shit. Where's my money? He's like, I never said that.
That's some dedication though. Like, yeah, you don't. I feel like these days you don't have people that are
That's like
a
true
man of their
commitment.
word
Yeah.
like that.
That's
you
what I'm
know?
saying. Yeah, I've always been like that. I got principles.
Like I
You
feel
know what I
like
mean?
people these days, like you make a bet and they don't want to. They don't want to.
They
Like,
don't want to follow through if they lose.
Exactly.
yeah, or they don't even want to do it. Like I miss
Yeah.
back like people just do stupid shit for the sake of doing it. And now it's like, oh, I'm not gonna do that bad. I'm not gonna do that. Just live.
That is like
live
the
a little
phrase,
bit,
like
King.
do it for the vine. Like it's like
Exactly.
like just do it for the just do it, bro.
That's partially how I live my life right there.
That's why
you
we're
know?
here, bro. We're just doing it for the vine.
Do it for the vine, yeah. No, I remember I brought it back up to my mom at some point, and I was like, I forget why. I was tossed around the idea of shaving my head again, and I was like, no, I would never really want to do that. Like, I think I look pretty bad. And my mom was like, yeah, you do have a pretty weird shaped head.
Damn.
And I was like, God damn, that's not even why I said it.
His mom was shaving this shit, just like, oh my god.
She was like, no, why would he do this? No.
I feel like shaving your head is definitely an experience.
You've
like,
done
I
it
feel
before,
like,
right?
Yeah, I shaved my head for when I was in high school. I did like cross country and track or whatever. And
I remember that. I remember when you shaved your head.
Our thing for state was that we would always like shave our head. I don't know why. Like it was just a tradition. Like it's like people would be like, "Oh, does it make you faster?" Like fuck no.
Yeah.
Like it was just like for the sake of like I don't know. It was like dedication or some shit.
Yeah.
And you kind of look cool. But yeah. So I had like super long hair. Like that's like you said, we were like the long haired kid. So like I had hair down to like my shoulders and like shaved my head and just rolled up to school the next day. And it was like, dude, it was like a thing. Like everyone was like, oh my God.
Because no one's seen you without long hair.
Yeah, and I just rolled up, like, head shaved.
Yeah.
It was great, though. Like, I think I definitely...
You never grew it back out after that.
I think everyone should shave their head. I think you learn a lot about yourself when you get bald. Like,
You hear that, Darren?
What?
You gotta shave that head.
I'm not shaving my head.
No, you got to.
I used to shave my head in middle school or elementary school.
Oh, yeah, I have seen
Yeah.
those pictures.
But I
Every
do-
black child has had the default cuts. You can't even like really talk to me about it.
but I do feel like it just, it makes you less vain. I don't know. I think for me, I was like really insecure when I was younger, so that's why I had like the super long hair, and I think it helped me like get out of my comfort zone in a way. I was just like, it's just me. It's what I look like, man. Like whatever.
That's the way to do it. Fear is to face it. So.
Powerful thing.
No, that's a good preamble to get into this. Like,
Dude, I know. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to go on a tangent.
No,
about,
that's like-
about like.
that's the whole
shaving your
point of the
head.
podcast.
I feel like
and
when we
everything,
get
so.
guests, it's like the idea of just like getting yourself out there to be understood, and like, I mean, that's a pretty good setup for like who you are. You just fuck it, you ball, bro.
Yeah, dude. And it was good too, because like I was also like, of course, it's funny. I was taking Accutane at the time, like when I did it, and which crazy. I know we like already talked about Accutane a bunch, but like it made me like super emotionless. Like people always talk about like ashwagandha. Y'all know what ashwagandha is?
that's
I've
like
heard of
the-
it, but I don't know what
It's
it
like a
is.
male hormone.
It's a
thing.
herb and it makes you
Yeah.
focus.
Yeah,
Okay.
and so like I feel like ashwagandha gave me like, or the Accutane gave me like the effect people always talk about with ashwagandha. It just made me like not give a shit about what anyone like said or thought. So like I was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna just shave my head. Like why not? Whereas like beforehand I would have been like, oh no, I don't want to. Like it just made me
insecure about it.
Yeah, it just
Yeah.
made me like not care. So I feel like that's kind of like what sparked it.
I think you're definitely a lot more like outgoing than you used to be back then, for sure.
Yeah. I feel like it was just all confidence. Like, I don't know. I was definitely like, I mean, I don't know. You talk about the My Chemical Romance. I was weird as fuck. And like, middle school and elementary school and all that. I think partially it was running. I think it was like the first time I like excelled at something. Like I was always good at school and all that, but I didn't give a shit about school. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I just did it because like my parents were like, oh, get good grades. And I knew I could. But like, I feel like running was the first thing I excelled at. And so that plus like the Accutane making me all emotionless or whatever just gave me like the confidence to like,
Well, you were like number one in the school for like the cross country stuff and everything too.
yeah.
So you weren't
I
just
don't-
good, like you were like the best one there.
I mean, yeah, I don't think it was so much about that. I think it was more that like I was good at it and I cared about it. So it,
You were
like,
good at something you wanted to be good at.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Instead of sitting there like, oh, I'm good at social studies or something random.
Yeah,
It's like,
exactly.
Yeah.
Like, hey,
Yeah.
7th grade social studies scholar or whatever.
Yeah. I think everyone in the friend group who ended up doing like the cross country stuff was like it ended up being like a very good thing for them.
Yeah, I think because like I didn't really play sports or anything as a kid, so I feel like I just didn't. And like looking back, I probably should have because I think I just like not even. I don't know. I think it just builds like social skills. Like it taught me how to be like social. I was hanging around with like I don't know dudes. And it was just like
No, I see what you're
Like,
saying.
you know what I'm saying?
There's
Like,
a lot of
like-
studies written about that where kids who play sports or do some kind of sport when they're in middle school or high school, they're always more organized. People who don't play sports, or like it's just like a statistic. They're more organized. They usually get better grades. They're better socially than people who don't.
It's a discipline.
Yeah.
You gotta like.
It teaches
show
you
up.
discipline.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Absolutely. And like it was I don't know, super random that it like I ended up being good at it too, because like I sucked at like I would like try sports in like middle school or elementary school, and I was just terrible at all of them. And so like I played baseball when I was younger, and I was just fucking ass.
I've never been like really like a big like competitive person, so I liked like watching sports when I didn't even like watching sports when I was a kid.
Yeah.
It was really boring. As an adult now, like I can like sit down and like watch football.
Yeah.
Sometimes I can watch baseball. I love watching like wrestling, boxing. all
Yeah,
that.
yeah, combat
But-
sports, yeah.
Yeah, like, especially combat sports. But when I was a kid, I just never like was super competitive, so I didn't really.
Yeah, I wasn't
vibe
either.
with
It
sports.
was like the strangest
But my brother
thing.
is like the exact opposite. He played like every single sport.
Really?
Yeah.
He played soccer. Then he got really big into baseball until like high school. Still playing baseball.
Yeah. Damn.
I regret not playing like basketball back in the day and
Yeah,
stuff.
dude,
too.
you're fucking 6'3". What the hell?
Yeah,
man?
I mean, I don't know. I always think about it. I'm like, damn, I really should have. But like back then, I was just very like same thing. I was just like self conscious.
I just wanted to play games, bro. I just wanted to go home and play Minecraft. You know,
I mean, it's
Like,
what we
I just-
did. I remember like that one summer in between like what, like 5th and 6th grade, or maybe like 8th and like 9th. Like we sat there like every single day. We played Minecraft from like dusk till dawn,
Yeah.
every single night. I think one day we did that shit for like 16, 17, 18 hours straight or
Holy
something
shit.
crazy. Like
Yeah.
we grinded Minecraft back in the day.
Dude, we were crazy, but I don't know. It was weird. I feel like my parents should have been like made me play a sport or something. But at the same time, it's like maybe then I would have resented it. Like
Yeah,
that's the
it,
thing.
it ended up working out for
So
you.
yeah, like I think it worked great. I think everyone just kind of has to like develop at their own time and like find their own thing.
Yeah, 'cause,
because
like, everyone's a parent for the first time, so like you don't know what pushing too hard is and what that isn't. Like some kids are more self-fulfilled. Where like we had a guest on recently, Jaslyn. She did all her
Jaslyn,
accomplishments.
like Hillary.
Yeah, she's been on here.
Oh, dude, I haven't seen her in forever. That's
But
sick.
like,
Okay.
yeah.
her parents were like amazed because she did everything for herself. Like
Yeah.
getting the good grades, having that drive. She was born with that at a young age. Some people
Right.
develop that drive later on in life.
Yeah.
And then as a parent, you kind of need to know to monitor that, because if you push them into a drive that doesn't fit for them, then like you've kind of crushed any type of growth they have, because now they feel like, because you said like you sucked at every other sport till you tried running.
Yeah, exactly.
So they tried every other sport and still failed, and they're just like a great fucking like like they can learn a language on the fly, but they've done their entire life just sports. Like they feel like a fucking failure, and so they don't want to try anymore, because every circle hole you try to put a square block into it,
Right.
And
right.
so
damn, that was profound, dude.
no, because it's hard. It's easy to say your parents should have done this, but like when I look back at like the choices my
absolutely,
mom
dude.
made, it's like she did the best she fucking could.
Yeah.
And like I
Oh, yeah.
appreciate that.
No, I think my parents did a great
Yeah.
job. And I think it's crazy to think about, like that could be us soon. Like,
That's literally gonna be us
not me
soon.
and you, but like you know.
I mean,
I mean, you could be. I
you
don't
know,
know.
but like just like I don't know. I just y'all think about that?
Like kids.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
I feel like
all the time.
yeah, or just like
I
think
want to
of
have
life-
kids eventually.
like I have a younger brother, so a lot of the life lessons that I would probably teach my child, I'm running by him first.
Okay,
It's a test.
okay.
I was gonna ask y'all too. I'm the only person here who's an only child. Do you think your parents like were they different with your little brother?
Yes, the
Yeah.
youngest
Versus-
always gets babied.
Yeah,
It's
that's
just
what
a
I
thing.
said,
Like,
brother.
yeah.
I would say that like well y'all know my brother, like we're really
Yeah.
close in age. We're 18 months apart, so I would say for us. It's funny because you know he's a lot taller than me. I'm like 5'8" and he's like 6 foot. So we were like 18 months apart and we look somewhat similar, but
Yeah.
we were like the same height growing up, stuff like that. So we looked like twins, and I like feel like we pretty much got raised like twins because we were like, you know, we were so close in age that like we got raised almost identical.
Okay.
My little sister, on the other hand, you know, I feel like she probably got babied a little bit more, but I would say they honestly kind of raised us all the same. I mean, she was an accident baby. Sorry, Emily, for dropping that. Well, my dad had cancer when my brother was a baby, so he was supposed to be like infertile after that. Well,
Apparently not.
Hey, that brace seed is strong. Okay, so yeah, so they had my sister, and she was 2007. She's like
Yeah.
4 years younger than me.
Yeah.
2000. Oh, that's my brother. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
2007.
so she's pretty, but like we were all like, I mean, I don't have a sibling that's like 8 years younger than me. They're all pretty much the same. So I feel like we all got raised like pretty similarly.
Okay.
yeah.
How about y'all?
4 years apart with all my siblings. My sister is 4 years older. My younger brother is 4 years younger. Smack dab the middle.
Okay.
My younger brother are 4 years apart, and I feel like he kind of just like say whatever he wants and gets away with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do
So
you think
really-
it's because of anything like with you, or do you think?
Like, think about it in perspective. If we feel like our parents like we understand our parents did the best they could with what they have. Don't you think they'll treat every child that same way? Like maybe we push this one a little too hard.
Yeah,
so you
like,
keep taking steps back of intensity to see what works.
It's a learning process. You know?
It's a learning process. So like. That's why I feel like psychologically the youngest gets babied the most, because like you push this kid too hard, they turn out a certain way. You start tweaking the numbers and the stats and shit to see what is the best way of raising a child. So when you see your grandkids, you can at least say, "Hey, I gave you this data to support."
Yeah.
Do you think your parents like compare the children?
I definitely think they do. They'll never tell you which
Yeah.
one's their favorite, but they definitely like rank them in their heads in the sense of like what like they did. It's not like they're ranking the child; they're ranking what they did with that child. That's how I feel like they would do it. Like, okay, I didn't take him to soccer practice this couple of times. Now he's doing meth. What you have to start like.
I guess that must have been where I went wrong. Now you
Just
have to go to
facts.
soccer
I
practice.
think my parents definitely know that I'm the more disciplined one, because now like my brother's in high school, he works a job, like part-time job, and he's still asking them for like gas money and stuff. And then the other day they were like, "Why are you doing that? Your brother never asked us for gas money when he was in high school."
Yeah.
I can't say shit. I was a freeloader. I mean, I ran, and like, granted, like running took me pretty far. Like, I got to like run D1, so like it was definitely like I wasn't putting my effort into nothing, but like I was like, I freeloaded for a long time, so I can't even act like I wasn't spoiled.
Yeah.
Everyone gets their time to shine, you know.
As an only child, I was definitely spoiled, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but it's like looking back, like I don't know, you like think about it, you're like, yeah, I should have like worked in high school. I should have done more. Like I should have like
I should have invested in Apple before they blew up.
Yeah. I should have bought some fucking Bitcoin. God damn. Yeah.
Well, more so, I should have grown up sooner. Like it took me so long to like grow up. If that makes sense.
There's still man children and shit today.
I mean,
You
we're
grew
only
up-
like 21.
Yeah.
So.
That's comparison kills all self growth. Like
I mean, just like think about it. Like, if you did do something else differently, you'd probably be in a different position right now. You don't know if that'd be good or bad.
No, for sure. I don't know. Sometimes like this is gonna sound so fucked, but like sometimes it's like you almost wish like I was like some like kid on the streets at like 15, because maybe I would have like it would have made
the struggle would have made you stronger.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like
bit.
sometimes I like, which is so bad to say,
because it's
like,
make or break. It's a 50-50.
it makes you sound like I'm taking everything for granted.
Yeah.
Like I'm not. Like I'm so appreciative of what I have, but it's like sometimes I'm like, man, like I'm a firm believer that like stressful situations are like what makes you grow, right? Like people always talk about managing stress. I'm like, I don't even think you need to manage your stress. I think you just need to focus it, right? Focus it on like self growth.
Well, there's healthy stress and then there's unhealthy stress.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
And so I almost wonder like if I had more like hardship in my life, if it would have made me like a stronger man or some shit.
You actually learn more when you're stressed.
Yeah.
But only in short-term stress. If it's long-term stress, like chronic stress, it actually does like a lot of permanent damage to your brain.
No,
It's
for
like a muscle in the sense, like you
Yeah.
stress it out a little bit, you can deal with more. But like
Exactly.
if you're held constantly, your mind breaks.
Yeah. And I don't know. I feel like that was something that just like working out, running taught me, was just that how important stress is. Like
That
how,
is stress,
how
like working
important
out.
Yeah.
hard things are in general. Like
I mean, a lot of people like taking the easy way out in general in life.
Yeah.
I think.
That's a human condition. We're biologically more prone
Yeah.
to take the easy way. That's just something we all have to fight.
Which I understand, but after a certain point, like, you know, if you're just sitting around eating and playing video games all day and doing nothing else, I mean,
Well, that's where you come into like habits and addiction, like in the sense of like already you understand. Like think about put Wall-E in perspective. When
Wall-E?
everything's like remember the fat people in Wall-E that was
Okay.
living on the
Yeah,
ship.
yeah.
I did not know where you're going with
Okay,
that.
that's,
Wait.
you remember like on the ship with the
Yeah,
evil?
yeah.
Basically, that's what taking the easy way out is. They all
Yeah.
took the easy way. They didn't want to try to fight for their planet. They didn't want to try to like work out, even when they were like having everything take. They were drinking fucking burgers and like.
Well, I mean,
shakes.
that corporation lied to them.
Be that
too.
as it may, the point is they never tried to do anything about it. Regardless, you have
Yeah.
hundreds of thousands of people. No one decided, hey, maybe I should not just fucking,
yeah, because if the corporation lied to them, they still made the individual choice to just sit there
agree
and
with it.
slob around all
Yeah.
day. I guarantee
Yeah,
the
yeah.
company didn't tell them they have to do
like
that.
they had pools, they had gyms, and no one ever fucking used them because they all just kind of followed the herd and just kind of said the easy way out's the best way out.
I mean, I feel like,
Yeah.
I mean, it really is a like political commentary of like the world today.
Wall-E's like one of
Wall-E
the
is,
best political commentaries.
dude.
like,
it's
out
so
there.
profound for like a kids movie.
It is still like
It's
in my top 5 like
crazy.
favorite movies of all time. I fucking love Wall-E so much.
But like you see it all the time. I mean, like
What the pollution, the companies just buying
just
people
the
and stuff
people,
up,
man. Like
and
people
then-
being out of shape. Like I'm a big
We have, like,
RFK
is it
guy.
that
I love me some
50%?
RFK. And just like I just doing all this, like looking at all these like studies and just like even just looking around at like a Walmart, man, you see just how out of shape people are and just like how the world is and like how just lazy people
do you
are.
ever think about what the world would look like or like what a Walmart would look like if they didn't have the disability scooters?
I never thought about that actually.
I don't know.
Well, okay. So the first question is, how are people with disabilities get around then?
But that's the thing. Like most of the time, you don't see somebody.
Yeah,
with
most
disabilities
99% of the
using those.
time, the people riding those things are just fat as fuck. Like,
Yeah.
the only disability is they're lazy piece of shit.
Yeah.
Okay. So going off of that, we still haven't answered the
But
question.
to be
like,
fair, if somebody
what do
is
we do?
disabled, they already have a failsafe to get around if they're at a Walmart. They wouldn't really need their own, like a Walmart-owned mobility scooter.
Oh, yeah, that's what you're saying. They would
So
just
you
buy
asked
one.
what the solution is?
Yeah.
What, it's like fat people?
Well, okay. No. Because we're like, we have all these safeguards in place for people who may take advantage of it or people who may need it. But
Oh, yeah.
the reason why we have them is for the people who need it. So when you think of like weight, like I would hope no doctor wants to see someone morbidly obese come to the office every day and be like, I need medication for this. And then like,
I mean, it's quite literally like in healthcare, it's like our job to never see you again.
Yes.
Yeah.
So no doctor ever wants to see that they see you. They don't want to see you again. But at the same time, there's all these new medications trying to get you to come back or trying to lighten the load. Like, I'll use ozempic for example.
Okay.
This it's a lazy man's drug for like rich people.
Yeah.
Because the people who actually need it, the reason that safety that was put in place, diabetics,
Exactly.
aren't getting access to it.
Right.
Same reason how you said like we only see big people use the fucking a company, like an actual corporation, cared just enough to give disabled people scooters, and the only people who using it are disabled either from their own free will or let's just say maybe like a couple of thyroid, whatever issues were like.
Yeah.
Let's just say put them in the swamp.
I do not need a disability scooter for my thyroid, though. just for the record.
Okay, but you see what I'm saying? It's like, why is the easy way out so preferable? So like, how do you get rid of the easy way out but still understand there needs to be an easy way out for people who can't?
Yeah.
The equity of it.
Because
I think... You go ahead.
I was saying, there's always going to be obese people. Not all of them are just out of laziness, but I feel like a large chunk of them are, obviously. Probably the majority. So, I mean, obviously there's something wrong with the country that's causing that to happen.
Yes.
Because we're the only one that's really like that to that same extent.
Now, if you dig a little deeper, like I'm not gonna say I'm like the biggest anthropologist, whoever studies people and shit, but like
That is anthropology, but that's more like evolution and culture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But basically, I forget which stat I saw this on. It might have been like, you know, you just like start learning little shit on like shorts and shit. Basically, someone said
Instagram
like,
Reels, Instagram Reels type
stuff like
research.
that. Basically, so take that with a grain of salt. 13% of the Japanese population, I think it's less than 13. It's a very small number of the Japanese population is overweight. But we also know about their culture that they don't like fat people. That is like
They
a
also
thing.
don't have as much like automobiles as us.
Yeah.
They primarily walk around.
But also, it comes down to their kids. Because think about it. The parents fat shame, so they fat shame their kids. And what do the
Right.
kids like? When a European person walked to a Japanese school,
Their diet's also infinitely healthier than ours.
that's what I'm getting to that.
There's a lot of different reasons
The
why.
European guy walked to a Japanese school, started asking kids, what is your favorite food? They said, oh, rice, broccoli. He was like, I was so astounded because when you ask like a European child or American child, they would say candy, popcorn, pizza,
Chicken nuggets.
something that is not necessarily healthy long
do like
term.
me some
But
McDonald's
these
chicken nuggets.
children understood that it's good for you, so it must be the best thing you can eat. I love it
absolutely.
because
I
it
just
keeps-
think Asian families are just way better at teaching discipline than other.
that's
people.
another given. But like you see what like that's part of the reason. Like American families aren't, I would say, as disciplined.
Well, there's definitely like other issues too. Like Japan obviously has like a much higher like suicide rate because of like the work culture and everything too.
Yeah, but I don't think
But
that
that-
relates to what we're talking
We're
about.
talking more.
but the-
I think it
the work
relates to
culture-
more just the sense of like being a harder culture.
Yeah, because the
They-
work
they're
culture
very
is ingrained
teamwork,
with the
you know?
discipline culture.
Yeah.
That's both aspects of it. Because the
Yeah.
reason they give you that discipline is because they know you're going into that work culture. And
Kind of like how Will was talking about. They're basically like a giant sports team. They're all on the same team, so that like drive of everyone's giving their all makes you go further.
Yeah.
And that at some point, your mental health and giving it your all, you kind of have to pick which one you give into, and that's I feel like leads to a lot of suicide.
Like,
and
yeah,
depression.
I think it really is all cultural. I think it comes down to the human condition. Like the human condition has always been, to me, right? Like it kind of from an engineering mindset, it's like how can we make things easier, right? Like overcoming hardship.
Yes.
Well, I feel like we've gotten to a point in society where we've almost, think about how many hardships we've eliminated. Like think about how easy life is. Like even if you are like, even if you're a homeless person, like life is
infinitely
easier than
Yes.
it would have been for anyone 1,000 years ago.
Yeah.
Like the average middle class person, like thousands of years ago, probably had it worse off than like the average homeless,
living in shit
homeless
huts.
person today.
Like
Yeah.
for
you
real,
know,
for real.
and I think we've gotten to a point where life is just so easy that you just
do you know
like
how
create problems because like we don't have actual hardship to overcome. Like I think hardship is what gives life purpose. You can't have like light without dark, right? Like it's only through hardship that like the good times feel worth it, right? And you can like, I'm really like interested in like the way that actually like works and manifests itself like in the brain and all that, like dopamine and serotonin and stuff like that, and just like the way we're wired and the way we've evolved like biologically. So I think it's crazy because it's such a multifaceted conversation. Like it spans like it's a cultural thing. It's like scientific. It's like philosophical. It's kind of insane. Like it just really like the human condition, I feel like, is just crazy to think about. Like it just makes you like, you sit there and you're like,
do you know how fortunate we are that we're at a point where we're asking almost like, how do we make life more difficult instead of easier? That's pretty much where we are now.
But like, well, you got to go deeper than that, bro. It's not just the human. I'm sorry, but like, it's not just the human condition.
Yeah,
it's life.
Yeah,
life is a fight. Think about it. When you like think about it really, like just put it. I'm gonna put it on like Stoner's terms.
Okay.
Imagine you're blazed as fuck and you're just walking outside on the pavement.
Okay.
And you see like grass growing in the cracks of the pavement.
Yeah.
Nothing else is growing in that pavement. Mm-hmm. Why is life still trying to live on something that's clearly uninhabitable for it?
Exactly.
Pavement is not. It doesn't nurture you. It doesn't take care of you. But there's still shit trying to grow. They're digging the roots deep down. They're breaking through shit that we make to last for years just to survive.
Oh yeah.
It's deep. Like it's ingrained in us to just give it all and keep pushing.
And I feel like in recent times, I almost feel like humanity's like just the average people you see walking around, it just, there's almost a sense of like you're losing that. Like humanity's losing its roots of what it really is, you know? Because like I see people like with no real problems in their life and they just
complain on the internet all day.
They create problems.
Like, they see problems where there aren't problems. They I don't communicate with people. They don't, all kinds of stuff.
It's kind of just like social media in a nutshell.
Yeah. I think social media is definitely a large factor contributing towards all the stuff we've been talking about.
But like, I feel like it's going to get better. The reason why I feel like it's going to get better because this is our new fight. Mm-hmm. The new fight is the age of ideas. For the first time in human history, I know what all you motherfuckers think.
Yeah.
I've never known what niggas around me were thinking before. Think about it. To get information back in the old days, you had to get a motherfucker on a horse to just ride, no matter if those natives, bandits, whoever the fuck was on that road. That's the only way this Kingdom A was going to, Kingdom B was getting attacked, and they needed to team up. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We were so scattered that it became like the five of us would be like a little tribe. That's what we thought, like a tribe, and that's what kept us alive.
We should start our own tribe. Like after the podcast, we should just like go create our own tribe in the woods.
This is our tribe. This is the Scat tribe.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And now we live in a day where like I could basically know like 4 billion people's thoughts and even more. You know what I mean? Like I'm privy to so much information, but we're still so like I just brought it up. Kingdoms, cliques, tribes. What is this tribe we live in? It's just an age of just conflict, but it's mental conflict. It's no longer physical. We actually live in like a decent age of peace. Like even though there's like comparatively speaking, there's only like
at least in the
really
West,
fewer wars going on on a global scale. Let's call it like I'm not going to speak to like Ukraine and Israel, but I'm saying if you take all of history. Right now, most people are living in a pretty decent time.
We live in a very civilized time, especially out west. And I think we're really, that's another thing. Like we're so lucky. People are so we're so fortunate to not have any conflict. People love to talk about like the Middle East. And I'm like, I think a lot of people are just don't have any gratitude that that's not happening to them.
Yes.
Like they want to have all these ideas about it, but I'm like, just be thankful that's not you. You know, like you can hate on America, but this country is the reason that your home's not being blown to shit. You know, like
you gotta count. You gotta like smell the flowers.
Amen.
Yeah, you gotta like smell the roses or some shit like that. You have to appreciate what you have because like it could be worse. Like I'm not gonna lie, I've seen some live leak videos. It's pretty shitty in other places. Like I'm not gonna lie.
Who was talking about that? Was it Shane Gillis where he had that clip? He's like, y'all know you can just watch the war in the Middle East.
They're really excited when they blow shit up. They don't even know what's happening.
They were doing that in the 90s. Like on the news, they would strap cameras to bombs, like missiles being dropped in was it Iraq?
Probably.
Yeah.
Like POVs?
Yeah, like
the POV of the missile.
It's literally a Call of Duty kill streak. Like you know, like you have the missile that drops. And you can, that was on public television. People just watch the bombs and you can drop. Like, oh my god, that's so cool.
Wow.
Yeah,
that is crazy.
And I think going back to your internet point and everything, like you were saying, like everything is so much more connected than we ever were before, and it's so much easier to get information about stuff.
Yeah.
But even though we have more access to people's actual thoughts and stuff, we don't have any of the actual like intimacy that comes with having like our own community and stuff like that. Like
I think there's a lot more disinformation or misinformation.
Yeah, and that's another
too.
big part of it too, because there's always someone out there trying to influence what people say for some reason or another. But like even beyond that, like I mean, you can have someone who interacts with people online on a day-to-day basis, and they still won't have any friends.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. That's how you end up with people who end up like isolated and lonely and stuff like that too.
And then get into echo chambers, and that's when problems happen because you haven't talked to a real person. You only talk to people who have the pleasure of being anonymous. Ever been a ghost before?
Yeah.
That's what being on the internet. You're a ghost. That means that people say, "Oh, the voices tone." They're fucking voices. They're not real people. You don't know them. You can't fucking fact check anything they're saying, and they're just telling you to do shit.
No, it's funny.
It's a fascinating way to look at that.
Yeah.
It's like Reddit and then Twitter. You know, like on Reddit,
They're completely polar opposites.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, you know, obviously there's an election coming up. And you go on Reddit, straight leftist, like straight, like if you post anything like right wing, you'll get downvoted to hell. You go on X or Twitter or whatever, and it's like
Pretty right.
I know Elon Musk says it's
is
like
so
neutral, but it's
right-leaning now.
right as fuck.
It is
Like
so
it's super
right-leaning.
right.
Yes.
You like post anything
only is
left
it
on Twitter and
right-leaning,
it'll just get shit on.
Like there are so many extremist like right wing ideas on there.
Oh, yeah.
Like I see something racist like within 5 minutes every
you
single
see
time I get on
people-
Twitter.
I see white dudes drop slurs all the time on
you
there.
open Twitter and it's like some dude saying, "Oh, Hitler was right." Like you're
Just
like,
open
what
the
the
floodgates,
fuck?
and it'll
what?
have like 200,000 likes or some shit too. You're like, who the fuck is liking
I
this?
get all the ones like dissing Asian people or like
Yeah.
mixed people.
And it's crazy because like these are the communities we've developed, but there's no real sense of community. These are just like you said, random motherfuckers online. But it gives people this sense of validation, and I feel like it's false validation. Like I feel like it's kind of like dopamine. Like it's like quick fake dopamine versus like long term dopamine. Like this isn't real community.
You're
This
not
isn't like
establishing
real
connection.
interaction. Like you're not actually getting the benefits, because social interaction is a great thing for humans, right? Like it's, I mean, Darren, you could probably speak to this with all your science knowledge. Like social interaction is like needed essentially for survival.
We mentioned, we talked about this like 10 episodes ago where I said like the number one predictor they use for like I don't know if it's a predictor, but a number one like correlation they see in people who live longer is their social circle.
Yeah.
The bigger the social circle, the longer you will live, like statistically.
And I think we've built these like just these false communities that feel like, you know, because everyone wants to feel like they're part of something. And so you get into these, but it's not real community. Like you don't, you know.
all these
month
communities
ago-
that people build are based on like, I don't know, a TikToker they like or some shit like that.
Superficial shit.
Yeah, it's all superficial. It's all based on like something you're a fan of. Like people be like,
Contemporary shit that doesn't really
fandoms.
matter.
Yeah, really, that's what it is. It's like communities are gone and like fandoms have kind of taken over that spot. It's like, oh, all of us are Dragon Ball fans. All of us fucking love.
Oh my god, you're like,
But I like that though. I like going on Reddit on like my r/Transformers
It's
subreddit.
cool, but you have to also have
it can't
like,
be your identity.
you have to also have like a real community with you.
Well, yeah,
too.
I agree with
Yeah,
that.
like be your own person. Like be like fangirl over yourself. Like that sounds narcissistic, but like
No, you have to love yourself
you
first.
should be your biggest fan. Like I feel like when I say that, people are like, "Oh, you got a big ego. You're an asshole." I'm like, "Why?"
I think you're right though.
Why wouldn't you? Like
supposed to
why?
love
Because
yourself.
if you can't look at yourself and like think you're the best person in the room, it means you're not working hard enough.
You know what happens when you don't love yourself? You need 40,000 people to agree with you so you feel loved.
Exactly.
When you hate the person you see in the mirror, you need everyone else's approval before you feel like you give a damn about yourself.
And I think that's what's like happened with social media too, is you have these echo chambers, but then you also have, like y'all said, like the idolization of all these like other things, and it leads you to, it puts you down. It like brings your confidence down. You feel like you're not as good as them, but in reality, I mean, like it's like GTA Online, man. Like your life should be like GTA Online, where you're trying to level up and like make money.
steal cars.
Okay, maybe not like that part, but like your life should be like a video game where you're
Maybe
trying
more
to
like
level
GTA RP.
yourself up in real life, like trying to acquire like real skills, you know?
yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, it kind of is like a video game if you think about it, because I mean, your whole thing is you're trying to get goals. You got these random objectives and quests and stuff you're going on. Where you're trying to level up your skill tree and just work your way towards something like that.
Yeah, like, and but it's real. You know?
Yeah.
It's real. Like,
And I think a lot of people who are like hella obsessed with games and stuff like that, they don't, honestly, that's like the one switch they need to flip in their brain. Just like think about life that way.
That's what I'm
Take
saying,
everything
like-
you're doing there and just put that on life.
That XP into real
it's
shit.
like max out charisma, dude. Like you might max out your charisma in a video game, and what, you get nothing. You max out your charisma in real life, dude, and you're in some pussy, bro.
You get some real bitches, not pixels.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I don't.
But that's the thing. Is it easy? Is it comfortable?
No.
No, it just never is. And what we
leads you
just
back.
established,
The
Nobody-
hardest pill to swallow is that like you learn from failure.
Yeah.
You know,
but I'm not gonna lie, I might be an asshole saying it, but I feel like the whole second place trophy shit we started doing that kind of brought it. That
You
kind
think
of
so?
brought
That's the root cause of all of it?
Not the root, but
I think
like the social-
participation trophies.
That's what I meant to say.
are the-
That's what I meant to say.
No, I agree.
I
participation.
think second, third place is fine.
No,
You know,
I meant
top three.
participation trophy. I'm
Yeah.
basically saying like people who still want to feel like a winner when you didn't work as hard as the winner did.
I mean, it's the whole ideology behind it. Like you can't like I think it's good to reward effort and trying hard, but I think there also needs to be some like you tried and you didn't make it. And because that teaches you to try harder, you know?
Yeah, because I mean, it's okay to try something and fail, but don't reward someone for that.
Yeah.
Just give them the actual support they need to want to do more.
Yeah, exactly. And
Don't
it's
just
like-
be like, oh, this is good enough.
right.
Because I think when you start telling people like, oh, you're good enough,
You stop moving the goalpost.
Exactly. That's when you start seeing people who don't want like have any kind of motivation in life.
Exactly. And I think you like you said, you build that motivation by like, that was good, but you can always be better, you know?
And if we go back to that, I don't know when exactly the whole no child thing left behind, but if we compare it to how Japan and their children do with healthy food,
dude, yeah.
you can only see how that a whole generation just teaches another generation don't try as hard.
We
So
can-
then it just keeps getting further.
We can
and
get on a
further back.
tangent about this No Child Left Behind for a while because I feel strongly about this.
What is the No Child Left Behind?
So it's the whole.
Everyone has to move on. You can't like you physically have like schools gotten easier.
you're not
kids have
supposed to
gotten
hold kids
dumber.
back.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's essentially like changes to curriculum and changes to the way they deal with students who would normally be like held back. Like I feel like you don't see people being held back anymore. A lot of that is because of No Child Left Behind, and this goes way back. It was like Bush or something who did this. It's
some
been
shit.
it's been a while,
yeah.
but it's obviously it's been like
It compounds.
added on to like for years they've like added stuff, they've like changed curriculums, like that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And it's gotten to the point where like it was honestly exacerbated by COVID because you had all these people not doing shit at home, and then you didn't want to fail them, you didn't want to leave them behind. So like my parents that were both in education, so they have a lot of friends who are like teachers, and these teachers are just I hear stories. I mean, they got like 8th graders who can barely read.
No, because my mom's a teacher.
Yeah.
There's a 2-year knowledge gap that just hit the entire fucking globe, at least in America
yeah.
specifically. Like we're like kids are like if you got into COVID during kindergarten, it's surprising if you can read or write at like at least a 5th grade level by the time you actually hit fucking 5th grade.
Yeah.
Because like you just said, they just you just turned into something, had your parents do the work for you, whatever the fuck happened. No one can fucking vouch for you. And so 2 years of knowledge of just fucking dumpstered out of people's minds.
Oh, absolutely. And it's insane to think about because like I mean I've always been like a bright kid. I'm not gonna say I like wasn't smart, but like I was reading like Harry Potter and stuff, and like it's not like Dickens. It's not like high level reading per se,
But it's
like
something.
a novel, like a Harry Potter novel in the 4th, 5th
endurance
grade. I
reading.
feel like is pretty like
It's pretty good.
yeah. Like
most kids don't even read.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like now we have like middle schoolers, like high schoolers who can't fucking spell, and it's insane.
It drives me up the wall when I'm online and I'm like reading stuff and they use the wrong your or there.
It's like random like stuff that everyone should know like grammatically. And
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
I see that all the time too.
No, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I am lazy. I will take the hit. Sometimes,
yeah.
But like in general, I get the complaint. Like if you're trying to be professional and they use it falsely, that's stupid. But I feel like I don't know, casually. I'm
But,
just being copy.
if you just speak to a 12 or 13-year-old today, and obviously some of this is just being older and being unk, I'm like, oh, these damn kids. But like these like 12-year-olds these days are fucking idiots. Like they're so dumb. Like they don't know how to do anything.
Well, they
See,
have
the
the
thing
most
is, I
information
guarantee
ever.
you that people said the same shit about us too.
Oh,
though.
for sure.
I was about to say, like, what if y'all met your 12 or 13-year-old selves today?
Yeah, like, I feel like I'd probably fucking hate him. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, I definitely would, but I think I'd be smarter than these kids today. Like,
I mean,
Probably.
you know yourself. I'm not gonna say that's not right, but I will say they have more information than we did. Technically, like they have access
Well, we have
to
the
more
internet
information.
too.
it is interesting.
It's
though,
more of like
because
there's not like the second or third generation internet to where like we know it and then like the millennials know it, so they're kind of getting like the best version, the best so far.
I don't know because we had the internet before disinformation was so widespread.
Yeah.
they have it with the disinformation. now.
And it's easier to access that disinformation.
Yeah, so
We grew
they
up-
might not be better off.
we grew up in a very like interesting time. I feel like because we were all like 02, 03. So we like grew up right on the like cusp of the internet. Like we were like honestly one of the first like age groups to like
be exposed
always
to it,
have
yeah.
the internet. like my neighbors, you know, who were born in the 90s, I would like hang out with them as a kid. We'd like play outside, which fucking God forbid a kid do that these days. You don't see kids playing outside anymore. But we'd play outside and stuff. And like for them, it was like, you know, it was just like, you know, they had flip phones and stuff and like all that, which like isn't even that old. But like I feel like we were the first real generation to have like smartphones and stuff. And like it was so accessible, but like at the same time, it was still fairly new. But these kids these days, I mean, dude, you have an iPhone in your hand when you're 4 years old. You know,
I do think that does concern. I'm not gonna lie. Like iPad kids, like I okay. Anecdotally, I've seen at least upper class parents cut that shit. I have not seen any iPad kids. So like when they're like 8 or 9, they need it for school, but the parents limit it. But like when there's young kids, like I like to say like toddlers and shit, I have not seen iPads around their fucking like faces at all. Like these parents are active in their children's lives, and I feel like you should be.
I'm the opposite. I see iPads in like every kid's stroller.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I said anecdotally, I've only seen it in my like when because I've cleaned like upper middle class houses and up. So like at least with those people, someone fucking was whistleblowing saying, "Hey, don't let them on that." You know what I mean?
I think a large part of it is when you're upper middle class, you're fortunate enough to like have enough time to spend more. Like
not necessarily. Usually the parents are busier. That's why I'm cleaning their house. They could have done. They would have done it themselves. But
I feel like they're more intentional though.
If you have more money, you know where to spend your money. If your time is more valuable to be spending somewhere else, why would you clean your own house?
Because I would agree with that, because I feel like a lot of the people, like the iPad kids I see, like they're not even upper class, they're like lower class. Like I was getting my car fixed, and there was this girl, I don't want to assume, but she looked like a single mom, right? Like, and so she's trying to get her car fixed. Well, her kid is like sitting on her iPad or whatever, probably like 3, like literally like can't like speak, like she's that young. Well, this mom, like, I mean, she probably had a lot on her plate, but like, dude, she's like her kid lost her shoe. Like her kid like lost her shoe somewhere in the parking lot and like just walking around barefoot. And the mom was like, "Where'd your shoe go?" And the kid just had no clue. They didn't even respond. They were on the iPad. The mom like asked the question like, "Where's your shoe?" And the kid did not look up from the iPad. And I was like that. I was like, "Oh my God." And
you don't see Western parents discipline their kids anymore either.
Oh no.
That kind of went the No Child Left Behind. It's like my parents are too hard on me, so I'm not gonna be hard enough in some cases.
Yeah.
Like, I think, like,
and I can understand that perspective.
Yeah,
there's still like certain things you have to be.
You have to push a child along. Like I won't say child. Basically, it's like training a dog. You have to give children artificial hardship in order for them to understand how development works.
Exactly.
Because when you become an adult, you're going to face hardship regardless. If you can facilitate hardship for your child in a healthy and not traumatic matter, then do it. But you shouldn't just make their entire life easy, because then they only get. Because you think about, like, you think of aristocrats in the old days, all they did was have an easy life. So when this bitch Marie Antoinette was like, these people are starving and angry, she said, give them. But like, think about it.
Yeah.
She's so disconnected from hardship that an easy way out here is just give them something. Like the fuck are you not feeding these people, bro? Give them cake. Like the fuck. But you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you have to give your children hard shit, but you can't over hard their life.
Yeah.
But parents use like iPads and other things to just kind of parent for them.
How do you feel about spanking your kids?
I'm
glad my mom hit me.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to know the fire's hot. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. I'm going to spank my kids.
I disagree with it. I don't think it did anything for me.
That's fair.
It is. I was gonna say, it is case by case. Like we brought up like Jazz. Some kids, you have to know. Like for me, I was rambunctious enough. I would literally touch everything and try everything. So I knew I needed something.
Some kids, like getting beaten or like not beaten, but getting like spanked doesn't
Discipline,
work.
that's the term.
But when you tell that kid, "I'm disappointed," then it gets them.
Yeah.
It's like it's different. It's different styles of discipline.
Let's say my take on it is like,
That's what it was for me.
first of all, when you like spank a kid, it can't be because you're angry.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It has to be like an intentional, like, okay, this is to teach them a lesson. This is not because this is not like I'm going to hit them out of retaliation. Like, I think that's a big distinction. And I also think that primarily it's for like younger kids, like before they're old enough to understand reason.
That's what I was going to say.
Because when you're 4 years old, you're not going to understand why you shouldn't do that. But like if your parent tells you don't do that like 5 times and you still do it, okay, you're gonna get spanked, because that's how they're gonna learn not to do it. But when they get old enough to realize, to actually, have like thoughts and they're conscious, then you can explain things to them.
It's just Pavlov's dog.
Yeah.
I think grounding and timeouts and stuff still work though.
Not really. I would argue for
when you're a kid, what's the number one thing you would hate more than anything else?
getting my ass spanked.
Being bored. Being fucking bored.
No, I would agree with that, because when I was a kid, I would like have the option. Like they would give me that. Well, this was probably when I was like 5 or 6. Like I only got spanked till I was like maybe 7 or 8 or something.
Yeah,
like I didn't get. But like I would get the option. I'd either get spanked or like hit with the belt, or I'd get timeout, and I'd pick the spanking every time.
Yeah.
So I do kind of agree with that because like, dude, sitting in that fucking corner.
Exactly.
I know which corner of my house it was. Like sitting in that timeout corner, I could tell you like every paint chip on that fucking wall.
Exactly.
Because that shit was so much worse. I would have so much rather just gotten my ass beat with a belt for 30 seconds and then it's done. I go play outside than
I
like
can see that.
having to sit there for 30 minutes.
Because you don't really like. It's not. It's all it is it's teaching people that something physical is an okay retaliation to something happening that's bad. It's really not. I mean,
so if someone tries to attack you, I'm just being a dick. But I get what you're saying.
I mean, I guess hypothetically, yeah. Because like I don't know, I don't see it as like a fitting punishment for what it is. Unless you went and you fucking punched a kid.
I think it's convenient.
Maybe.
I think it's easy. You just slap them on the butt.
Well, that's what it is. I think it is lazy. I think it's honestly what it is. Like you need to come up with a better punishment if you're a parent. Like why is the thing you default to just hitting your kid?
Because it works.
Yeah.
So,
and I think,
but you can come up with something better that works just as well.
If it ain't
not
broke,
better.
don't fix it.
I mean, I disagree with that because if that was the case, we wouldn't have developed better tools because I mean they work. You know what I mean? It's the same type of thing. Why would you develop any kind of better concept ever if you already have something that works?
Because it's more efficient to hit your kid.
I do think it's
Why is it more
very
efficient?
individual too. Like it depends
It's
on the
more of
kid.
a case by case thing. That's what I'm saying. Like as we talked about earlier, like as a parent, you kind of need to know, okay. Because the thing about also some kids, I want to say they perceive time differently. You have to understand some people are different. We all know people. There's a spectrum of autism. There's a spectrum of people. You have to know where that child fits. Because I do know some children, you need more enforced force because they will default back to if there is no real.
Well, and let me ask you this too. Now that we're moving even further onto like people having devices and shit like that, because that's not going to go away. Is timeout not a better punishment for them?
Why can't you do both?
So you're going to hit them and take stuff away?
That's what
I'm
happened
gonna
with
put
me.
them in the
I
timeout
get
corner
it.
and then beat their ass.
I
in the
get it,
corner.
but
No.
what's the double punishment give you that just taking the stuff away doesn't?
Severity. Like,
Yeah,
depending on what
severity.
How's it severity?
I don't
think
want to
it-
get hit, and I
As
don't
a
want
kid,
myself
I
taken
wouldn't
away.
care about getting hit. I would care more about losing my stuff.
I would say the distinction is that it makes them respect you more because they know they could hurt you. Like I think it makes you fear them in a way. And it's not, I don't think it's an unhealthy
It's like
fear.
fearing
I think
God's
it's like,
wrath.
I think it's, like it's a respectful fear. Like,
But if they have the power to take your stuff away too, they'll fear you with the same stuff.
see, but that doesn't like to
Hitting
me.
you isn't
to a
really
child,
doing
I mean,
anything.
I think
just
like
like a
just as a
quest to
human, like
find
as
the
a
shit,
like
you know, it's not
that
really-
doesn't scare me as much. But like when I was like 5 or 6, like I was scared of my dad because like he would like spank me. But like, and obviously like that's not like I'm not like, oh my god, I'm terrified of my
Okay,
dad.
so
like it's
let
not
me-
like a traumatic thing. But
let
I
me
think
ask you this.
it made me respect him.
Yes.
If someone hits you back as a parent, if you hit your kid and they hit you back, is that deserved? Yes or no?
No,
I don't think a parent should care because it shouldn't hurt.
yeah, and I think that like
Well, I'm saying if you're doing this to kids up until like their teenage years.
No, why would you do that? We just
I
said
don't-
like
yeah, no, I
earlier.
wouldn't-
We
I
said like
wouldn't hit-
the
yeah,
whenever
you
you can
don't-
reason with the child when it stops. When a child can't be reasoned with, you need to enforce it severely.
Yeah, like
They
I-
my
need to
mom
be
stopped
afraid of
hitting
the
me with the wooden
action.
spoon when I stopped
Yeah,
being
we're
hurt
not
by
saying
it.
like this. You're a 12-year, and you're just fucking
Like
pulling
if you're
up the
like
fucking
12
sack
and
of
you're getting spanked by a
potatoes.
wooden spoon, it's not going to hurt the
Yeah,
same way as when
exactly.
you were
Yeah,
6.
I'm saying strictly for like, because I'm telling you, I would have killed myself multiple times. I wasn't scared of the idea of the thing that would have got me hurt. Because I
Yeah,
was
it's like
more
I'm,
I
just,
get
I'm
that
14
too.
year
That's what
old.
I'm saying.
It's like I'm going to get hit with a belt. So what? It's not going to hurt that much.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it does lose. Like out of 14, losing your shit would be more impactful because at that point you're now like you're not afraid of pain. You're more afraid of like the fun you're missing out on FOMO.
right.
Yeah.
And so, as a young child, there's no fucking FOMO. Like, what are you thinking about as a 3-year-old?
Well,
I
life
want,
is FOMO.
I want to eat the fucking thing that should not be eaten.
Yeah.
So that's FOMO because you're more interested in eating the thing that your parents have put you in timeout for. Don't eat fucking lead. Okay, I'm gonna eat it. Don't eat fucking lead. Okay, I'm gonna eat it. They need something to escalate. Okay, now I won't touch the lead because I know you're gonna get mad and I don't like how I feel afterwards. But if you just keep doing the same thing, think about it with a dog. If you don't do anything besides just remove the dog's gonna keep going for your food. They don't see
But you
that.
don't hit your dog either, though.
I discipline the dog.
Yeah, but do you hit her?
I don't fucking beat the dog. 'Cause
So what do you do with Snowy to discipline her?
you do positive reinforcement, but you also do time. You do punishment to a dog's degree.
So exactly, you give her time out.
Because beating a dog only makes a dog more aggressive. And
So you don't think it's going to do that for a child?
It doesn't.
It does.
It does.
Dogs can also hurt you.
So can a kid.
No, they can't.
No, a child can't hurt you unless they get a knife. Of course, then anyone with a weapon can hurt you. That's just a thing.
So you're saying the one reason why you don't hit the dog is because the dog can bite you back?
I don't hit the dog because to train the dog, it works best to give it a
Also,
low
a dog
low.
doesn't understand that, but a kid would.
Yeah.
You
Understand
can't
why.
really reason with a dog.
I think a kid. I think a kid.
Well, your whole point is you're doing this because you can't reason with the kid either.
A young child, and for the same reason when
They probably have the same mental capacity as that dog at that point, to be honest with you.
but they're going to grow to a point where I think they'd understand it at some point. Like the dog isn't, you know.
But that's what I'm saying. Like I don't understand. Like if it's okay to like if it's not okay to do this to the dog, why would it be okay to do this to a human child?
I think the like IQ capacity. I think the fact that like it's also like the child's like your flesh.
Well,
and
okay,
blood,
to be fair,
so.
I'm going to argue this as well. You can still hit the dog. There are schools of thought with training dogs where that does work. Like when you first train animals, that's how they use the same thing used on a child. It reinforces that behavior.
I don't agree with that either.
But
And
all
clearly
I'm
you don't
saying,
because you don't hit your dog.
All I'm saying is that sometimes it has been proven that sometimes it is necessary. As you've seen throughout human history.
But yeah, if the dog's about to run into the road and kill itself, then I mean, yeah, you could probably hit it to get it out of the way. That's different. That's not the same thing.
We keep bringing up, we're talking about severity. Like you have to hit.
So when is it okay to hit your dog?
If my dog is going to bite a child, I will hit my dog.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's fair, obviously.
That's severity. If a child's about to eat lead paint, just go face first into a pool.
So if a kid gets bad grades and they get spanked.
No, that's fucking stupid.
That's what happened to me.
Well, okay, I never got beaten for my
So
bad grades.
what is the level of severity that you would spank your own
As
child?
a parent, you have to decide. I can't decide. So
I'm asking you
For
personally.
me,
what would be your
severity, I would not get mad at my child for bad grades only because I would have to figure out why they're struggling. Is it them? Is it me? Is it the teacher? There's too many factors for me to just crash out on my kid. But if my child is biting other children, it's like, okay, like, bite me first, then we're going to talk about it. Like type shit. Because you can't attack, you can't.
I mean, physical violence, I agree. I think that is.
That's what I'm talking about severity, John.
But
like, the punishment has to fit the crime.
You just said something about grades, though.
Do y'all feel ready to be parents now? I feel like I'm ready.
I mean,
I don't have the income for that.
Yeah, I mean, really, it's just a
I don't
financial
either.
thing, to be honest.
Yeah, mentally,
I
I
don't
feel
have the
like
time
I'll be
for it.
fine.
I feel like I feel like it's a good conversation though. I feel like
Yeah, but
it's
I'm
interesting.
all for severity. That's my whole thing. I think discipline is needed for severe cases. You can't just let someone think, okay, all right, just put me on time. Because some people don't give a fuck about timeout the same way some people do.
I think it's individualized.
That's what I'm saying. As a parent, you have to know. And you have to be willing to try other things. That's it. That's all I'm saying. But like, I'm not.
I mean, I think you're
you
both
have to
right.
hit at some point. That's all. At a certain point, a line has to be crossed. You can't keep getting away with this action. You need to know there are severe consequences before you turn 18. Try that shit. And now you're either dead or in jail.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. You have to put a safety net in place, and that's the only safety net known to work on dogs and people is fear and violence to a degree. That's it.
Okay. I mean, from my perspective, I just feel like it's better not to do it because it tells people that's an okay way to like deal with something that you don't like.
It's all about how you teach. I'm not telling my children, hey.
I guarantee you almost every kid that's bullied someone in school by beating the shit out of them is because they got beat at home.
It's actually not the case.
I feel like also that we're not talking about like beating. We're just like.
Well, I mean, just in general, because different people are going to take that in different ways. They'll say, "Oh no, this is fitting of the crime."
But you're conflating the problem to the parents. We're talking about on a case by case situation. Like if you were a parent, obviously, so if your child is beating and like trying to harm children, you're going to keep putting them in timeout. Or what would you do if every time you put them in timeout, it doesn't work, it doesn't click? How would you then increase your treatment or your diagnosis for how you want to get your child to stop?
I mean, it depends on what they're into. I don't know.
So what would you? That makes. Can you explain?
I don't have a kid yet. I don't know.
So
what
your
they
child
like.
doesn't mind being in timeout because they still bite kids. That's all you need to know. What would you do to help?
What is their personality like? What are their interests? What are all kinds of stuff? Like what?
It's your child. Make up your child. How would you do it?
That's what I'm saying. It all depends on the situation, though. You
Okay.
can't just conflate that like, oh, just in general, if your kid's biting kids. I mean, you don't know that. Does my kid have autism? I mean,
That's a good question.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's all kinds of stuff that goes into this. You can't just jump into it being like, oh yeah, I beat my kids. No,
that's what I'm asking you. As a parent, all I ask is what's your next thought process? I'm asking you how would you do it if you tried your first plan, which was non-violent, and the violence is still persisting. What are you looking at? You said you would check for like autism, other shit. So obviously you would try to deepen the diagnosis. That's all I'm trying to see where you're going with that.
Yeah, because I mean, I'd want to know what's going on. I'd try to understand my kid better. Why do you want to bite other kids? You know
So
what
if
I mean?
they just told you straight, I just like biting them and it's fun for me. I'm just gonna keep running down the like. At a certain point, do you feel like dude would have to get involved? So if you found out it wasn't autism and they just like biting kids for the fuck of it, what are you doing at that point? If we're just gonna now we know that your child isn't autistic, which is another thing to knock off. So now you know they're not autistic. They're just biting kids.
I personally don't care about why they're biting kids. I'm going to tell them you don't bite kids. That's something you don't do.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I mean, I would explain to them like, okay, like, would you like it if they bit you? I mean, like, it's very common sense to ask them questions like that. I mean, I wouldn't just jump to hitting them because they're biting kids.
I never said jump to it. I'm just asking you like, at a certain point, how would you like? It's not as
So
easy.
if he
as
busts out some logical ass reason of why he likes beating kids, should I just be
Okay,
like,
no,
should I
actually,
just like, okay, well, I guess I gotta hit you now. I mean,
Oh no! But like, if that's, is there a logical reason? You just there's no reason for violence.
How would y'all feel if your kid got into a fight at school, but it was like pushed on them?
Oh, they wouldn't be in trouble at all.
Yeah, I
no,
fucking
of course
dap my
not.
kid up.
Yeah. I'd be like, but vice versa, if I found out my kid was bullying another kid, I'd be pissed.
That's a problem.
That's
Yeah.
a big No, I agree. Like I think
There's
that's
always that thing they said like in elementary school where it's like, oh, if someone's picking on you and they like try and hit you, don't hit them back. I'm like, that's all bullshit.
Yeah.
You know?
I would definitely teach my kids.
If I was a
defend
parent,
yourself.
if I was a parent, I'd tell my son, like, yeah, he lays a finger on you, punch him in the fucking eye. Punch him in the mouth.
yeah.
And I wouldn't have no
not
problem.
gonna
I feel like that. Yeah.
Be like nut shots all the way around. Don't just play to win. Don't play to be fair. Play to win.
Fight dirty, dude.
Yeah, I was like, play to win. Like if they're trying to pick on you, kick their ass. Like,
Ain't
they're not gonna
nobody
try to
fighting for respect
No one
at 8
fights-
years
yeah,
old,
no,
bro.
exactly.
Just
No one's
fucking
fighting.
punch me in the
Win.
nuts, dude.
Just win.
Yeah.
Like, that's my parent philosophy because like there's no way in hell you're gonna take the high road on another child. This child's just gonna keep going lower. Kick him in the nuts. If the principal calls both of you, we know who won. We get an ice cream.
Yeah, like
Type
fair
shit.
enough, fair enough. Have y'all been in fights in like elementary school?
I followed
and
my
stuff?
sister. No one's ever really followed me in school though. But my sister's older than me, so like it was always kind of a fair matchup. I'm not gonna lie. Well, not fair. Like, I would get like body slammed, but like it was fair for me.
I never actually really like got in like a fight in like grade school or anything like that.
Like in fourth grade, I got hit by a girl and I pushed her back, and then I got in trouble.
yeah,
That's fucked.
that's like I don't know.
There was this kid in elementary school before I moved over to over there. And I remember we had beef for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, what do you have beef about it? For? That like
Exactly.
the third grade.
Yeah, it was like second grade. Like, I don't know what the fuck we had beef over at this point. But he was definitely came from like a troubled household or whatever.
Yeah.
So he was like my bully back in the day.
Damn, dude.
Like, and the crazy thing is he was like half my height. Like he was tiny compared to me.
That happened to me
Like a
too.
little
My bully,
chihuahua.
his name was
Yeah.
Brandon, bro. He was small and chubby, and I was taller than him. He would always just like kick me. He would just ankle check me all the time.
This dude was so little. I swear to God, he was able to. He like jumped onto my back, clamped onto my fucking shoulders like he's Yoda or some shit, and he would like fucking like kick me while he's holding onto my back.
what
or
was
some
this
shit.
motion, dude? This is what
Dude,
he's
that's like
doing,
an
bro?
elephant in a mouse, bro. You were getting loaded.
He like fucking did that shit, to, like pull me down to the. He fucking like wrestled me or some shit. Like, it was crazy.
Yeah, that's. I didn't really have any of those like highlights
Yeah.
from elementary school.
And the crazy thing was, we ended up being friends.
I'm gonna tell you my story
after,
too.
After all that, we ended up being friends.
The kid who bullied me the entire. He bullied for 2 years. For 2 years, he used to. I went to his birthday party the second year. I think it was like second or third grade. He invited my entire class. No one showed up but me.
Damn.
His victim. And so I got to
Enemies to lovers, bro.
Bro,
Yeah,
literally,
bro.
like his parents were like, cause like you could tell like his older siblings picked him. That's what my mom told me. I was too busy looking for like ice cream and cake. Like I'm not gonna lie,
yeah, yeah.
like I was there for the food. I could not get this nigga bullied me for 2 years, bro. But I was like, you saying ice cream cake and goodie bags, like
Fuck
Yeah.
yeah, dude.
But no, his older siblings from my mom's account were like kind of harder on him type shit. So I will say. It's probably just a sense of trying to feel better because I feel like his parents are nice as fuck. So I don't think his parents were pushing him. I think it was like this cycle of just like the children rivalry, and he just found I was his outlet because I
Yeah.
never fought back. My mom, because I learned what because being a black just being a black, 'cause you never want to act out too much, and so I just kind of suppressed it. My mom was like, just I don't know,
Was he a white kid?
mixed light skinned kid.
Got you.
Oh, yeah.
Got you.
So his mom was white, dad was black. His siblings were all mixed, and he got shit on from them, and I got shit on from him. But as soon as I showed up to his birthday party, like he just stopped.
Damn.
He just stopped, and I was
That
just
were
like,
cool after that. That's,
Yeah.
that's kind of
Yeah.
wholesome. Like it sucks.
like,
but,
the
it's
enemy,
kinda
like that's
wholesome.
some like I have no enemies type shit.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's good
Yeah.
though. It's like you fixed it without having to like resort to some physical shit.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, it does suck, but eventually it worked itself out.
Yeah, but the only thing is sometimes it doesn't, and then
Yeah.
I might have had a if
I think realistically, it probably would have been better if you did fight back, obviously.
Yeah.
But I think that is like a happy ending to what
Yeah.
happened there. You know,
You
I
know,
think it's
there
probably
are
the best
some
outcome.
victories in nonviolence. We have like Gandhi and Martin Luther King for that. Like there are some small victories, and they are powerful because when all the resources and survival instinct told you to fight back, you chose not to, and it worked out. But like on the same time, sometimes you are gonna have to fucking bite back, and you just have to know.
I got in a fight like the first week back this semester.
Really?
Like a fight?
At Sake Mama.
Oh,
Was it a bar brawl?
Dude, it was the stupidest shit. me and my buddy Gavin, we like went to the bathroom, like we were taking a leak. I'm like kind of drunk at this point, and we're in the bathroom, and there are these dudes in like the stall, like obviously doing coke. And Gavin, like my roommate's like, oh, he's like, I know what y'all are doing in there. We were just like, haha, whatever. I'm taking a piss, and this one guy comes out, and he's like coked out, just being a dickhead, you know. He's like, hey man, what do you think we're doing in there? I'm like, dude, like, why not? We're just like, Gavin's just fucking with you, like nobody cares, like whatever. And this guy is like, I don't know, he's just like,
He's talking to you while you're like pissing in the urinal.
yeah. And, like I like finished pissing or whatever, and he's all like, oh,
This is
like
rude etiquette.
he's just being like a dick, and we're like, all right, bro, like chill out, like you're obviously a freshman, like it's your first weekend up here, like don't get a, like, I don't know, don't get the ego going crazy. And we're leaving, and he said something as we're leaving. I don't know, like I don't know what he was pissed about, like to be honest. He just like was not fucking
Well, he was
with
coked
us.
out, that's why.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Well, as I'm walking out of the bathroom, he yelled something out, so I like turn around and he fucking spit on me. So I
Oh,
was like,
shit.
bro, so I just punched him in the face. And like
Actions have consequences.
he like,
Yeah.
mind you, this was funny as shit, because like I'm drunk, he's coked out, and so like I punched him. Well, he like comes up and like grabs me, like tries to like grab onto me, but he's just like, he like grabbed me and then he's like not doing anything, like he's just holding
He's just
me.
holding you?
I was
Tall was
like,
he?
what the fuck? I don't know, probably my height, like he wasn't super tall, and he's like just holding me, and I'm like, what the hell?
He's holding you so his phone would like fuck you up. But it's like,
Well, like,
he just wanted to
he
touch
was
him?
there with his friends, so but he's just holding on to me, like I don't know. So I like grabbed under his legs, like I was about to like lift him up, and then I instantly just like two pairs of hands behind me. One pair of hands grabbed my neck, and one grabbed me like by the stomach, and I got pulled off him. And it was like his friends, but like they were just like, he's not worth it, bro. He's coked out. Like, and I was like, so
Like,
it
no
wasn't.
shit.
It wasn't even like a fight. It was just a scuffle.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
okay. But like shit would have got
Thank
like
God the
serious
friends
in a
didn't wail in on you.
second. No,
Well,
they
yeah.
were.
It was me.
They understood he
Yeah.
didn't deserve that.
It was
shit.
me and
yeah.
Gavin, and like they weren't gonna be able to do anything. I mean, Gavin's a big guy.
Yeah, yeah,
You've
yeah.
met Gavin. Like, Gavin had one of the other friends like already like in a hold. So like,
So like they were just like, let's de-escalate. Let's just back out.
the coked out guy wasn't gonna do anything. Like those two guys that grabbed me might have, but I don't know. It
But
was
they were
kind of
they chose the peaceful option.
yeah.
so.
It was kind of funny though. I just thought like
No, that's pretty fucking funny.
I think we're lucky enough to where we haven't had to grow up in an area where we have to get into fights and shit all the time. To be
Yeah,
honest.
so that's still true.
Because
for some
I know
kids.
some people like have to deal with that shit like every day.
Yeah, I know motherfuckers who were fighting every day from elementary to high school. They were just
yeah.
throwing hands. And that's a tough life. Like how Will was saying, like, I mean, in a certain sense, that could make you a little stronger. If every day it's just fucking like Black Ops 3 Gulag, you just
yeah,
I mean,
dude.
when my brother was in middle school, they would fight for fun.
yeah. And my bro-
It was like boys being boys type shit. They would just go in the restroom and
I
start
feel like,
slap box.
I feel like that's different though. Like that's not an actual fight. Like I would do
Yeah.
that and like would like wrestle or whatever.
But like those
but,
were the
like,
fights they shared, like
Yeah.
on Snapchat and everything. It was like just competitive, like
just
slap
them like
boxing.
fucking around. Yeah.
Well, now at the high school we went to and everything, it seems like there's like a fight.
it got
every
neutered.
day and
There's no
everything.
fights anymore.
There's
at all.
not?
No, my brother's. I mean, does your brother talk about the fights at Brookwood at all?
I haven't seen any from him.
no, because my brother told me they got extended lunch.
my
taken
brother would
away.
always send them to me.
Basically all their fun things got neutered. Like there's no more Chick-fil-A, extended lunch got taken away. There's like and
So
the
they shut
fighting
that shit
stopped.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the fighting stopped. So like there's just, they said fuck you guys and they got
I mean, that's probably the best way to handle it. I mean,
yeah, it was getting kind of bad. Like after.
Remember when that kid got slammed with a textbook? I still remember that shit.
Oh
breakfast.
yeah. They fought in the restroom, and then he was being a sore
I was
loser
sitting at
about
the
it.
table next to him when it happened, bro.
I just saw this dude walk up in the cafeteria, just like he just stalked this nigga, like he was hunting prey, and just went.
Well, it was like
Yeah.
some like guy who like was taller and bigger and strong, and it was like some chubby little kid in a like red hoodie. They had been slapboxing in the bathroom, and the red hoodie kid got his ass beat, and he walked up behind this other kid at lunch and slammed a textbook on his head. The guy grabbed him. The red hoodie little kid's behind him. He grabs the guy from behind, picks him up in the air, and slammed his head on the fucking on the chair, like the chair that was built into the lunch table.
Yeah, that textbook did like no damage.
Dude, he
Yeah, that's
slammed this
crazy.
kid so hard there was like a little puddle of blood like next to the seat he was
Well,
sitting
I
in.
remember seeing like a video of one of the fights from back then where like this girl got hit so hard she had a seizure.
Bro, you
That's
listen when they
crazy.
just start
Was that the one
fucking
over the
glitching?
That's
Chick-fil-A
crazy.
biscuit?
I think so. Yeah.
Wait, which one?
They
were
fought over a Chick-fil-A
They were,
biscuit.
Nah,
they
they're
were
crashing
snatching
it.
weaves over the Chick-fil-A biscuit,
Yeah.
bro.
That's crazy.
That's
like,
a crazy crash.
and
out.
that's completely different to how it was when we were there. Like there would be like a fight every once in a while, but it wasn't like that.
Yeah, like
bad.
that textbook thing. That was like a big event, dude. Like,
That was
like
I was talking about
that was like
weeks.
if you were in the lunch where that happened, that was like, oh my
That was
god,
the
what
news
happened?
of
What
the-
happened?
I feel like
that
you would
was,
almost say that shit was like attempted murder or something. Because like, I mean
I wouldn't say so.
I wouldn't know.
I mean, you that shit.
That little motherfucker in the red hoodie wouldn't go do shit, bro.
Nah, but I mean, if he was dead ass, like if he was stronger, that shit could have like
If
really
he came
fucked
with a
him up.
knife or like some kind of weapon, I would have been like, yeah.
You don't think a textbook can kill you?
Nah, bro.
No.
A textbook can absolutely kill you.
Not
On
from
the
that.
head?
Not from that kid, bro. That
You
kid
said
was,
not from that kid, obviously. But I'm saying if it was like a big dude,
yeah.
that shit could have for sure.
I
fucked
guess
someone up.
maybe.
I was like,
I mean, a big
maybe.
dude could probably kill you without the textbook anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, definitely.
That's probably just like adding, but like a normal person probably. I don't feel like you can get beat to death easy. I'm not even gonna like get into like the whole science of it. I don't feel like a textbook would like kill
I think
a lot of people.
People are a lot more fragile than you think, for sure.
I do know we're fragile.
A big
I know
guy
that.
could shove you and you could hit your head on the paper.
Yeah, I know
and
there's
die.
like it falls
Yes.
like that.
Yeah, I mean
But it's
stuff like that. Like it's very easy, to, especially it hits to the head. Like stuff like that can kill you very easily.
I don't know. I'm glad that hasn't happened to me, dude. I'm glad I haven't died yet.
No blunt force trauma
Damn,
over
yeah,
here.
for sure.
Just don't
I
make
guess.
unnecessary enemies.
Yeah, I feel like that's a big part of it. Like a lot of people just like, you know, they just walk
big
around
egos.
trying to have pissing
Yeah.
matches with every person they meet, you know?
That's another way to get validation if you feel like you're pretty strong, pretty tough.
Yeah.
Knowing that by just picking fights with people is another way you feel whole instead of loving yourself and be like, you know what? These big hands are meant to hold, not harm. Like, you know what I mean? Like, really, like it's all really just self-reflection.
There was one instance
Yeah.
where I almost got into a fight. I was walking to the bus, and then there were like some older kids in the band that saw me, and they just wanted to like fuck with me. So they just pushed me, but I like bumped into this guy who was like holding his girlfriend behind me because they
Aw,
shoved me
damn,
into him.
dude. He
And then
was
this
about
guy
to- he was
this guy
about to
pushed me
kill
back,
you.
and then I turned around and I was like, and then he looked at me like he was about to fight. He was like, and I looked at him with like the most disgusted face. I was like, and then I turned around and just
It's like your kid. It's like you didn't hit your kid. You just said, I'm disappointed in you, bro.
Yeah, I know. I looked at him and I was just like, the fuck? And then I turned around and just kept walking the same speed. And I could tell that made him like really angry.
Yeah.
It's like, you think I did this on purpose? Like,
Hey,
No,
man.
because what he did is like, he walked around me and like shoulder checked me as he walked around me.
No.
So
Like
he
he
did
was
not,
sizing you up?
Yeah, he didn't like that I just turned around and didn't care.
it's like, okay, weirdo.
Sometimes that's
I
the best
guess.
thing you can do, man.
Yeah, I
Just
mean, it's his fault for
show
trying to,
show no reaction.
escalate shit.
Yeah, he didn't even like
Yeah, for
say
like no reason.
Are you okay? Like, what the fuck? He just, we're doing this. It's like, are you that ready to fight just strangers? You don't think he could have tripped or some shit? Like,
I mean, he was behind me. He saw them push me.
that's crazy.
People are tripping, man.
Fortunately, I've always been like a very big dude as well, so like no one's ever.
Yeah, no one really
tried
tries
anything.
you for that.
Yeah, there's no reason to.
I'm a chihuahua.
Scrappy.
You say shit like that. Chihuahua. Fireball.
I don't know, dude. Man, I've been listening to some music, bro. I've been just like fucking with music lately. Like, what music do y'all listen to?
I'm kind of all over the place now.
Yeah, I listen.
I am
Recently,
too.
I made a playlist with like a lot of middle school like emo music I used to
Oh,
listen to.
That's right up my alley.
Yeah,
bro.
and then
Let's
like
go to
some
town.
and then like some newer stuff I found on like
Yeah.
Instagram, TikTok, just stuff I've been hearing around. I like
Do you
I'll
listen
walk
to
around.
like? Sorry, I don't mean to cut you. Go.
So I'll like walk around. I have like the Shazam thing, and I just like I'm like, oh, I like that, and I add it later.
Yeah, I do
thing.
that too.
But yeah, I just like had a resurgence in like emo music and like
what
punk
type?
and all that.
Like, name something for me.
I used to like this band in middle school a lot called Starset.
Yeah, I know
It's-
Starset.
Yeah, I used to love them.
You guys heard the
started
Lord
listening to
Forgive You
Paramore
guys?
again.
Paramore's good.
Yeah, like old school Paramore, like
see.
Monster. Y'all rock with Monster, Paramore.
yeah, Monster. I remember that one.
Yeah, dude. That
Y'all heard like
song.
the Lord forgive me, oh I.
What
It's
the
like
fuck are you
Necros.
talking
It's some
about?
random.
Green Day. idea what's going on.
It's like
Linkin Park. I've been listening to a lot of Linkin Park.
Dude, what do y'all think about like the new singer?
I
Have
like
you
her.
seen all the
I don't
controversy?
care. Hate me all you want. I like her.
Oh, for Linkin Park.
I'm not gonna
Or-
hate, dude. I think she gets so much like unnecessary hate. Like
Have you heard fucking Emptiness Machine? That shit fucking slaps.
I think like everyone's hating because she's not Chester, and like you just have to understand that nobody's gonna be Chester, and like she's not like those songs were designed for his voice, right? Like obviously it's not gonna be like a perfect carryover, but I think the new work she's done with them is great,
Dude.
And I think it's people just living in the past, and it's like. You're expecting her to replace someone
She's
that's
not a
irreplaceable.
replacement.
Like it's
She's
not
never was a replacement.
Yeah, she's not meant to be a replacement. It's supposed
She's
to be a new
member.
thing.
Yeah.
And like a lot, like the son is crashing out, the mom is crashing out, and a lot of people online are crashing. But it's like they asked, I forget who, you know, the guy, the most iconic guy from fucking Guitar Hero. I can't think of it. Like the guy with the fucking glasses. That guy, like the cool glasses, like the
Okay.
fucking.
I don't think I know who you're talking about.
Anyway,
Yeah,
it's like
either.
Guns N' Roses. He's from the old
Axl
era
or
of rock
Slash.
bands.
He's on Slash, right?
It might be.
He always
He's
wears
from
the
that
hat.
era. I can't remember. It was an article I read. His name wasn't clicking. They said that the band he was in. Anyway, a famous musician guy who's in the same kind of genre as Linkin Park, more like the rock, heavy emo shit.
Yeah.
Old as fuck though. They asked him how he felt about it. He said, "Look, there's a loud minority and a silent majority. When they do a concert, you're gonna see which one is right.
Exactly.
If no one likes Linkin Park, no one's gonna be at the fucking concert. If people fuck with this music, regardless, they understand Chester's gone. They're gonna be at the concert.
No one's even giving her a chance. Like, also, she's brand new. Like, you're just like she's not used to playing live with them. So like, obviously, there's also that element. Like, you're still getting used to something. And I think people just like freak the fuck out. I'm like, you're not like you couldn't make that music yourself. Like, why are you tweaking so much?
But here's the thing:
just enjoy it for what it is.
Did you hear about the allegations? Like the rumors and like the people, her connections. People are calling out for the connections she's to.
Who? What? I don't
Basically,
know.
it's Scientology, and one of the guys in Scientology sexually assaulted another musician in like the same like kind of sphere that Linkin Park's in. Yeah. And she was friends with that guy, but she's already called him out. She's like, yeah, I don't. At first, so basically here's what happened. Yeah. Because they're part of Scientology, her parents, I'm guessing the church, her parents are members of the church, by the way. They're leading members of the church. So she was born into Scientology.
Exactly.
That's why she's
it's like you're like not allowed to like communicate like with or like so, it's if you leave the church, it's like she wouldn't be able to communicate with her family.
So a Scientology member was on court for like sexual assault. The church, parents, whoever asked her to defend him. She didn't know the full topic. They probably didn't tell her for reasons. She found out later and denounced him. She's like, I don't condone any type of assault against women. And then the second part was Scientology. It's like, well, if her parents are Scientology members, you don't just give up your entire, like, who could ask you to give up your family?
Yeah, because it's fucking crazy. Like, it's a thing.
Yeah.
Like, to leave the church, you have to like, or if like your family leaves the church, you're supposed to excommunicate them. Like, you're not allowed to talk to them ever again, or like see
and
them.
even then, like, they will harass you and make you come back and everything too.
So
they
it's
will stalk
like
you.
I don't know.
So like, that's way too harsh.
I think you should be more critical of the organization than the person.
Yeah,
you know? Like, it's not necessarily her fault.
And even then, like, this is something.
Well,
you
those people are victims too because they're stuck in it.
Oh yeah,
she was born into it. Like, how else? You're in
Scientology's so fucked, dude. It's so weird.
But what were we saying?
This is something we talked about, but like he wasn't even like one of the original members either. Like he wasn't one of the founders.
He was Chester. Yeah, Chester wasn't original.
Who was it? Was it Mike Shinoda?
Mike Shinoda was the main guy.
It's like his band.
It is his band. That's what other people cry. Like, it's not Chester in Linkin Park. It's Linkin Park made by Mike Shinoda. So if he didn't want to change the name, why are you on his ass to change? That's his thing.
Exactly.
It's his thing.
Yeah.
And turns out people are like, oh, you lost 2 members. 4 out of the original 6 are still there.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know how many different bands there are where they've lost every single member and they still call it the same name?
Dude, Panic at the Disco.
So many fucking different bands are like that.
Panic at the Disco is something else. That's just Brendan Urie, and he's kind of a fucking loser. Like, I mean, like I'm sitting here broke, insulting him like millionaire, but like fuck Brendan Urie, dude. He's just like. He's so weird and creepy and shit.
A lot of
like,
bad stuff.
Ryan Ross, dude. Shout out Ryan Ross. Like he was Panic at the Disco. Like every time I hear High Hopes on the radio, or like when it was popular, I'd hear it on the radio. I'd just have to shut that shit off because it's so fucking bad.
Well, it's too poppy now.
God
it's not
awful, dude. It's terrible music. And I'm like, if you go back and watch their like live performances from A Fever You Can't Sweat Out, like back in like 2005, 2006, you're like, this is peak. Like that was something like unique and special, and just like their shows. It was a show. Like it was just it was like a spectacle. And now I'm like, dude, he's just some fucking like dumbass. His vocal range isn't even as good anymore, and he just hits on like teenage girls and shit. Like fucking
damn. Well,
like I don't
really
fuck with Panic at the Disco anymore. I fuck with Panic at the Disco before it became just Brendan Urie. Mm-hmm. Dude, that's like my shit though. I love me some emo music, so I can yap about it, dude. Of course, I've been listening to a lot of like System of a Down lately, which is definitely like more nu metal. That's kind of like Linkin Park-esque, like not so much pop punk sort of vibe, but dude, they're great. I wish I could have seen them in concert like 20 years ago, like 25 when they were like in their peak, because oh my god, it's so good.
I never got into like rock or metal or anything like that. I don't dislike it. Like, I'll listen to it. It's just not like
the song Chop Suey?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, dude. Like I feel like that's their most palatable song though.
Yeah, it's the one everyone knows.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have like phases with music. I don't like dedicate myself to a genre. I have like phases. Like I remember last year, if you asked me what I was listening to, is yacht rock.
Yeah,
yacht rock.
It's like 80s-ish, 80s, 70s, 80s rock.
Yeah.
It's like
where it's like the stuff you hear in like movies now, where they try and like cater to old people. They play like their classic hits from like the 70s, 80s, like Guardians of the Galaxy music. There's a lot of yacht rock.
Okay.
Whenever I study, I listen to classical music.
Interesting.
something to focus.
I rewatched Transformers 1986 today. That soundtrack is so fucking funny to like go back and listen to now.
Is it really?
It's so
Every single song in that movie is like an 80s pop song.
It's so
got
80s.
the touch.
Every single song in that movie is like there's not a single like non pop song in that movie.
I mean, that movie just feels 80s.
It does.
Okay,
Like-
80s pop is gas though.
It is. Like,
it is.
The soundtrack is good. It's just like they'll have like some like fucking action scene going on. And they'll start playing some fucking like dance music or some
Yeah.
shit. Like it's
That's
just
something I noticed with a lot of movies today is that they always use like, you know, those really generic like 80s pop songs.
Yeah.
Like every single pop like super popular movie has that in their soundtrack, and it's in the trailers too. It's always in the trailers.
Guardians of
You're
the
thinking
Galaxy.
you're just talking about the Fall Guy, aren't you? With the
I actually never
with
saw the
Kiss.
Fall
Like
Guy.
everything, every single like movie trailer today. It's got like
I never
some-
saw that movie. I just know it had the Kiss song in it. I was made for loving you. Of course,
Yeah, yeah.
Youngblood did a cover of it.
I definitely think
actually really
Marvel
fuck with
movies are why
I think
they're doing
Guardians of
that.
the Galaxy in particular has completely shifted the way people make soundtracks.
Yeah,
That's a crazy statement. But
I mean, I think it's
I don't watch
true.
enough.
It's
I don't watch enough movies to know.
Don't,
Because I mean that entire movie, like it was marketed with like the older like
music.
70s, 80s pop music. The entire movie is themed around the music and stuff like that. And then immediately right after, they made like Suicide Squad from DC, and they tried to like make it like DC's
Terrible
Guardians of
movie.
the Galaxy.
Terrible movie.
But that entire movie, same thing. It's just filled with pop songs. The trailer was pop songs.
Margot Robbie's the best part about that movie.
Have you seen the second one?
I heard it was terrible.
Does
The
Suicide
second
Squad?
one's actually really good.
I don't know.
It's one of the
James
best.
I'm wrong, dude.
It's so
the
good.
second one is
Dude,
really
I'm sorry.
good.
I'm sorry.
No,
bro.
no,
I,
no,
like,
no,
fucking
sorry, no.
It
offended
has the Guardians of the
masses.
Galaxy director.
That's why I
Okay,
fucked with the
it was
Guardians.
probably good then.
Yeah, it was
probably
actually really good.
Okay.
He's
No,
actually
like-
at the helm for all the DC movies now.
Yeah.
Dude, you want to know what my guilty pleasure 80s
What?
pop song is? Total Eclipse of the Heart by Bonnie Tyler.
Oh, that's a banger, dude.
It's the one that's in Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
Yeah.
Turn around. That one. Like, dude, have you listened to the actual song?
Yes,
course.
yes, yes.
Oh,
yes,
it's
yes.
so
That's a good
dude.
song.
It makes me feel like I'm an '80s businessman, like having an affair, like in some like wood paneled basement or some shit. Just like
American Psycho shit.
dude, it's oh my god, like that song just brings out like these just emotions in me, and I can't describe why. It's so good. Like I just feel like I'm meeting like I don't know, having an affair, maybe like meeting my like true love, but it's like I have a wife, but like my true love is my affair partner.
Is
and
that why
it's
you
like,
call it a guilty pleasure?
Yeah, I guess I don't.
He just feels
That's-
guilty when he
That
listens
song
to it.
just
He has
makes me
to.
feel some like particular type of way, and I can't describe it. Like,
Dude, I listen to everything from hip hop and R&B to emo music and like new metal.
Yeah.
And so like I'm looking at my shit. I have like J. Cole, I have Deftones,
Yeah.
I have fucking Mac Miller, and then I have fucking shit like Lou Raglan, who just does like old like soul music type shit.
okay.
That's why I don't listen to just my like songs on Spotify. I have to have it in a playlist. Because like one moment it's gonna be like J-pop.
It's like flavor
Then
of
it's
the
gonna
month.
go to like EDM.
See, I'm
and
the
then
opposite.
and then it's gonna go to classical music.
I like my playlist doing that though. That's
It
why
just-
I use
yeah,
my
it
like
switches
music.
the vibe.
Exactly. Like I'll be driving and I'm like, damn, this completely shifts my
Well,
mood.
my
Like, I
current
still like
vibe
that.
dictates the music I listen to.
That's
No,
true.
that's how that is
I feel
for
like
me.
music is so powerful. Like,
It's one of the last things you forget.
I feel like every song I like associate with a memory. Like I can almost remember where I like was the first time I heard a song, and like you know some songs like more so than others. But it's like I feel like songs just have this. I mean, that's what they are. They're like vessels for emotion, right? Like
Yeah, and memory.
And I think they like you store memories in it almost. Like it just your brain associates a feeling or a moment with like a song, and it's so powerful because I can listen to a song and like remind me of a person. Like I feel like
Well-
every like girl or whatever I've been with, I can have like like a song that I like
That defines the moment with
associate
them.
with each of them. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Or like even just like moments in my life, dude. Like
I have songs I associate with like memories with like my partners.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like I remember like Quarters of Change. I don't know if y'all know them. Their song Kiwi. First time I ever like got high, like took an edible or whatever, I listened to that song and it was like a transcendental experience. Like I was like tripping out, and it's like kind of a trippy song, anyways. But like I can still remember that. Like I'm like, holy fuck! Like
And
it just
stuff like that is why like concerts and shit like work so well because
Yeah.
you think of like the visuals of the concert and stuff, and you associate that with the song.
Oh,
and, like
yeah,
listen back
dude.
to it and everything.
like I just saw Falling in Reverse.
Oh really?
Like a week or two ago. Super good, by the way. Like their new stuff is not for everybody. It's definitely like I definitely prefer more of their older stuff. Like I kind of like their more emo stuff. They could do a lot more like metal
Pretty
now.
sure I have some of their songs in here.
Yeah, you probably have like earlier stuff. I like Escape the Fate too. Like situations. That's like really emo shit. That's like
The chorus was changed to T-Love.
yes.
I like that
Yes.
one. Yeah, that was pretty good.
Love that song. My claim to fame, dude. I feel like I found Quarters of Change before they were big. Everyone says that about everybody, but like,
yeah, I was gonna say, I think everyone.
dude, I don't know. They definitely got really popular, kind of like later 2022, 23. I mean, I'm not like a diehard super old fan, but I like feel like I listened to them, and then I saw them at like super small show in Athens in 2022. They were like opening for some other band who was not that great. But they were awesome. They've definitely gotten bigger since then because like they were still at that point. I don't even think they were playing shows on their own. Like they were just opening for people. So I saw them there. Fucking phenomenal concert. But I really liked them. But I mean, yeah, I thought Falling Universe was really good. I thought the openers though, they had Dance Gavin Dance,
Okay, I know that
and
one.
Black Veil Brides opened for them, which like
wow.
Black Veil Brides is like that you want to talk about like middle school me, like that was middle school me. It would be like Black Veil Brides. So like getting to watch them play was kind of like crazy, kind of awesome. Dance Gavin Dance was great, dude. It's like controversial. They have a new singer and he's like. He's fine. He's not great. It's not like.
I thought you meant like the way he looks.
Oh no!
Oh
no,
yeah,
no,
he's
no, bro.
fine.
Nah, whoa. You know, I'm accepting, but you know, personally, I don't swing that way.
Yeah, I figured. I was like,
That's not
damn,
me,
Will,
dude.
I didn't know this.
Yeah, that's not me, dude.
Damn.
That's not me.
I mean, I'm not gay or anything, but I can appreciate like beauty in a guy.
I think I say
I mean,
$20.
yeah,
is
like
$20.
I can see a guy,
No.
but it's not. But it's like oh, like yeah, like I can. It's more like you look at a guy and you're like, yeah, I'm sure they get attention from girls, like
Yeah.
or it's like yeah, like, but it's not like weird, you know.
You appreciate that they look good. It's
Yeah,
like you
like,
are a healthy
I was like,
looking
man,
dude.
they
Like you
look
take
good.
care of yourself.
Yeah, but it's like not like I don't know.
I'm
Like
not trying to see them later on at night. Just like, you know what?
I feel like
how you look.
sometimes girls be looking at other girls and they're like, I'm trying to like fuck that girl.
I think it's a little more common for girls.
I feel like yeah, girls.
It's more
girls
normalized.
be
It's a different
different.
standard.
Yeah.
be at least curious, you know.
Like
Yeah.
I don't. Like I don't know. I guess you can appreciate when a guy looks good, but like I do not fuck with that gay shit, bro. Like I'm sorry. Like
I've
just,
always heard people say that like
like
I've always heard girls in particular say that like Ryan Reynolds is like what a straight guy thinks women find attractive or whatever and stuff like that too.
So.
I don't know. Like, no hate on Ryan Reynolds. I don't think that's like the standard,
Yeah,
like the
dude.
gold standard.
Yeah,
for,
I
like,
don't know either.
I think he's like funny. Like I think
He's a
like,
cool
yeah,
dude,
cool
yeah.
guy. Yeah.
Like if you want to push the envelope, you could say Pete David's the standard for like what
he?
girl.
Yo, yeah.
mean,
Can we talk about like the prevalence of girls loving ugly dudes? Like, what is up with that? Like Pete Davidson, like okay, funny guy. He seems like a really chill guy, but like
That's probably why.
I think it's
he's
that
not
thing where
good
it's like
looking.
Is he
women-
that funny though? Like I've never seen him as that funny.
I don't
Neither
think
have
he's.
I.
I don't. I mean, like
He's like corporate funny.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you know,
He's like
he-
SNL. Funny.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like he's not like.
But I think that goes to back to the thing of like women finding like badass like scoundrel types attractive.
You think
And-
Pete Davidson's a scoundrel?
you think this motherfucker's like a Han Solo?
No, but I mean like people who look like that.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
got the
like
tattoos.
scoundrels.
and
Looks like he does
demeanor
drugs.
for
Look a little
yeah.
more
Does he?
like-
He just looks kind of dirty.
He looks like he does.
That's what I'm saying.
drugs,
It's like
dude.
scoundrelly. It's like
Yeah.
dirty. Like
Like
this
a-
guy is.
I could domesticate him. I could take him in.
And I
I
also
Yeah.
thought like the whole Kanye thing, like him getting her kids tatted, was weird
That's
as fuck.
fucked up.
Yeah.
that's pushing boundaries.
I thought it was
for-
pretty funny though when
Yeah.
Kanye was like how those tattoos doing in the trauma unit. Like that was kind of hilarious.
What happened? Why was
It's
he in
kind of
trauma
fucked
unit?
up, but it was kind of funny.
Did he get hit by a car or something?
Nah, he like mental health sort
yeah.
of stuff.
It was like
Which,
when he had one of his breakdowns.
no hate for that. You know what I'm saying? Like I respect. I hope he gets the help he needs, but I just don't think he's
That's
like.
that's just trying to piss people off. Because I think they're not even like your kids. I'm not trying to be mean, but like that's forever.
And this is
yeah.
only someone you're dating. It's like you're getting married.
Yeah.
And he
Yeah.
got with her right after they divorced.
yeah,
But this was like old news now that I think about it. This was a
Yeah.
while ago.
Pete Davidson's already dated like 3 people since then.
He bagged Ariana Grande after that shit. People just like he can't keep getting
I feel
away
like
with
I feel
this.
like she's not like insanely attractive either.
Who, Ariana Grande?
Yeah.
You know what's weird? Like, am I weird for saying she almost like race swapped? Because I
lot
remember
of
when she
people have
looked
said
like
that.
She turned black.
she kind of got black. Like it was like at least dark Latina. To like I remember she
Yeah.
looked like in Salmon Cat, just like this really pale girl. I'm
Yeah,
like
she was pasty
pale as
ass, red
fuck.
hair, and then now
and
she's
like
like
her face looked different. Now of course you have the money, you could do whatever you want to like
I
make
think her
yourself
face
look
looks
like
almost
whatever.
the same to me. I don't know. She just wears makeup and stuff.
Yeah.
now.
It might be that because like you can do like different dimensions with makeup, so it might just be that she might still have the
Yeah.
same. But I'm just like, it's just weird. It's like, I mean, it definitely makes more money. It definitely helps market herself. But I'm not gonna lie. But like, it's a weird like change to see in someone.
I don't know.
Because like everyone gets on fucking Starlight for the same shit. Like they always do like Starlight mogging and shit. Because she got some like
They're on
some
what?
like
In The Boys.
In The Boys,
I haven't
this
seen it.
character.
Don't spoil it. I'm gonna
Okay.
watch it. It's eventually.
No,
Basically one of the main
outside the
characters-
story. The main character's kind of like how the
okay.
original Cat was. You know, the Cat was very down to earth, like happy and
She's
shit.
supposed to be like the girl next door type character.
Okay.
And then in the newest season, she got like like her cheeks are now raised and shit like that, and you can
Yeah,
it's
facelifts.
noticeable.
Yeah.
But like no one in the universe addresses it, and also the one of the supporting characters, Lance Alonso, he lost weight, and they mentioned that though.
Yeah,
know,
they
shit
make a
about
line about that in the
Starlight.
show.
You can't say.
But
Hey,
it's only because like a lot of her core in the show is supposed to be like talking about like
She's
the
a
beauty
pro-feminist,
standard,
like,
this,
yeah.
this.
got it.
And then like she gets
and then
like
she did all that.
exactly,
Yeah.
Got you.
Which
Okay,
I don't
okay.
see anything wrong with people getting surgeries like that. It's just like
it's
it's
ironic.
a weird way to handle that.
It's a
I don't know.
new
Okay.
like thing you're exposed to. You're like watching someone be portrayed as this like down, like I don't want to say down to earth,
Something
like you
they're
can't
not.
get
Like,
work
just
done.
like, yeah.
yeah. In terms of
Yeah.
they are the person that would get plastic surgery when like their character's all against it, and now that you see it's now
Got you.
canonized in the
Got you.
show.
And it's like they make a throwaway line about one of her cast members taking Ozempic, but they don't make the same line about like that stuff.
Yo,
I didn't even know
speaking,
that.
speaking of Ozempic, bro, y'all seen Ice Spice,
What?
So
Like
she got,
her
like-
getting thinner?
She got thinner.
bro?
Yeah, she got a lot thinner.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. I think Ice Spice is bad as hell. Like people say I'm crazy, but like I think Ice Spice is bad as fuck, dude. Like
I think she's got a weird face.
Every time bro, I think it's like those eyes and that like accent. Like every time I see her on Twitter, I'm like, yeah, dude. Like I just sit there and it's like I'm like, damn. I hit her with a damn, she bad, and then just keep scrolling.
Is this real, chat? Is this real?
Is that Ice
doesn't look.
Spice?
That doesn't look normal. That doesn't look
me
like a
see.
normal curvature of the body.
I'm pretty sure it's edited.
That's probably edited.
Okay.
But like
That's
dude,
like way too thin.
I've always thought Ice Spice was hot. Like people tell me I'm like all of my guy friends tell me I'm fucking crazy. They're
I
like,
thought she looked
they're
better
like-
before she lost the weight. To be honest,
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I prefer A to B.
I
low-key.
don't even. I'm not even like saying after. I thought she was hot before, but I just got on the topic of Ice Spice. Like people are like, oh, she's ugly. She's
I
like
think
blah blah blah. I'm like, bro, she
People hate
bad
on
as
her
hell.
for a couple of reasons.
People hate on her because her music's all the same.
Well,
Like,
wait, she's a
really.
meme.
She talks about shit a lot. Like
Think I'm the
It's
shit.
a really weird thing to have be like your
because
thing.
she's had like multiple songs about that. Like
Think you
just-
the shit, you're not even the fart.
yeah, and like and like people like she's referenced like stuff like that in a bunch of other songs. I'm like,
yeah.
a little weird, but you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
I
then
could
again,
overlook it.
you forget like when her first concerts were coming out, people just came to see her twerk. Like that was the culture she.
Have you ever seen that fucking video of Kai Cenat trying to get her to freestyle, and then she just starts twerking immediately? Like she doesn't rap at all.
Is that the one where he's about to slap it? He's like
think it
about to
was.
slap it, and then
I
he
think
like
it
does
was.
it, and she turns around and she's like, were you about to slap my ass?" He's like, no. Kai Cenat is so funny, dude. I think Kai
Yeah.
Cenat's hilarious.
It might have been that.
Like he's a
yeah.
goon, but like he's fucking funny.
I think he just passed Speed for the most popular streamer, or was it the other way around?
I don't.
I know they've been pretty much been.
I don't,
neck and
I don't
neck for a
keep
while.
up with it.
51,000 people
when I
watching him play Sekiro.
When I say I like Kai Cenat, I mean I like if I'm scrolling on Twitter and I see a clip, I like that.
So let's just give him a sec to. That just bust your nose. Are you good?
So my little sister uses Snapchat, which is like insane to me because like I feel like in my brain she's like a baby, she's a child.
Yeah.
How old is your sister now?
She's 17. That's
Oh, okay.
crazy to me.
Yeah.
Like, and it also brings up a weird thing because like I have boys who like. I mean, we're 21. It's not like that weird, but I know guys who like, yeah, if she's 18, like whatever, and I'm like, that's so weird to me, having a little sister because like.
These guys are on the.
In my
prowl.
brain, I'm like, that girl's like the same age as my sister, you know, or like almost.
Yeah.
So it's like fucking really creepy to me.
We talked about this recently. Like, it's like it's an experience gap between like younger ages.
Yeah,
It's like,
absolutely.
When people say 2 years, like okay, 2 years between like 20 and 22, no one says shit. Like no one cares.
Yeah.
But you go like 12 and 14, that automatically your brain's flagging as like there is a very big gap in where you should
Yeah,
be.
and I think I think there's some truth to like you can be a mature 18-year-old, but like that's not in a college town, man. Like you're a kid if you're in college,
Yeah.
bro. Like especially going to college, like
You just got to a university. For the
You're
like,
first
I feel like
time.
I feel
You know
like people
what I mean?
don't find it like an issue, like college freshman, college senior. I think that like is a little weird to me, but
A college freshman and a college senior are very different.
I'm different now, but I do think I was pretty mature for an 18-year-old.
I think you are. I think I wasn't.
I think a lot of people weren't. I mean, when you're 18, you're still basically a kid.
It's a weird thing too, because like I feel like
I was
get-
like self-sustaining right as I moved out of the house.
Yep.
oh yeah, no, I definitely wasn't. And I also like, it's a weird dynamic because I feel like I definitely like attract like younger girls too. Like I look very young for my age. Like people do not believe me when I say I'm 21.
What do they usually pay you as, like 18?
Yeah. So like I get hit on by like freshmen a lot more than girls my age, like freshmen, sophomores in college, and it's just weird to me because like it's just I don't know. Like
I
we
understand.
might look the same age wise, but like mentally we're not the same. You know what I'm saying? Like
I just don't understand like why there's guys who like exclusively go for
The
people
exclusivity
like
is
that.
crazy. If something
that's
happens,
weird to
happens,
me.
whatever. I can't say to that.
Yeah.
But like, if you're
If that's your type,
if you're Leo,
that's weird.
If you're Leo DiCaprio and these bitches, that's a little.
and like I'm not gonna sit here and lie and say like a 22-year-old girl is hotter than a 50-year-old woman. Like let's be so for real. Like girls in their 20s are hotter than girls in their 50s, but
Prime,
also
like,
like
your age,
you can
yeah.
there are mature girls in their 20s who are attractive. Like I think it's weird if you're hitting on like college girls when you're older. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's what I love.
And even
about
then,
these
if you're
I
like
think you just need to grow up and grow out of that phase.
If you're in your 50s, why is that still what you're looking for in a girlfriend?
like grow up.
I mean like when I'm like I don't know. I mean I'll be married in my 50s, but like
I mean, old people have sex
I
all the
definitely
time.
look for attractive people, but I'm not like. I feel like
You're not
people
looking-
almost
yeah.
crave that like inexperience. Like that's what's weird to me is they almost like
It's predatory.
fetish,
like how
yeah.
naive they
Yeah.
are, and I think that's kind of weird. Like
oh, I like how innocent you are.
yeah, like,
shit like
that's,
that-
you can get away with
that's
weird shit.
fucking weird when someone says
Yeah.
they like someone that's innocent. Like that is
weird.
strange to me.
You can get away with more shit though. Don't forget, like that comes with
yeah,
that. You
and
get
I think
away
that's
with
what
more.
it is. Like the power dynamic, they want to feel like in control.
Yes,
But I feel like if you're a real man and you're like a dominant guy, you can be in control if
Any
someone's your
situation,
own
yeah.
age, you know? Like, not that you should be like,
all these 50-year-old women just push
control,
me
but, like,
around. I need an 18-year-old who doesn't know any better. Like, what? Where's your
Yeah.
head at?
But it's like you're very clearly not looking for a long-term relationship at that point. If you're going for someone that much younger than you, I don't know. It's just like
I would argue against it only because there's been no, and historically speaking, old dudes who are trying to get young women, they would just keep them forever. But like,
Yeah.
it's because you have a younger wife. So as you turn 70, they're only like in their 30s.
But like, there's
So
very
they still
clearly a
look good.
reason why people your age don't want you.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Or you
especially
don't
if you're
want people
Leonardo
your own
DiCaprio,
age.
any woman will want you. But there's a reason why women his age don't want him, and it's because they know he's weird.
Yeah. Like if you're, and I don't know.
I would almost argue he
it's-
still
it's
gets from
whack.
his age. He just chooses women that would agree to his conditions of them being 25 or like no younger than 25.
Yeah.
Because he has money like that. You have to put into factor like if you're a 50-year-old man, you're well off. You will find somebody. That's not the hard part. It's finding what you want. And if you want something that's permanently at a certain like it's age gated, you're just gonna keep chasing.
But
that.
realistically, someone else in Hollywood who's his age, I think there's plenty of other people in Hollywood they go for that would be better for them than Leonardo DiCaprio. Like I think in general, if you're the type who just goes for like women who are younger all the time and stuff like that, like something mentally about you is not going to change at
Yeah.
that point. Like I feel like you're just kind of weird.
He's like not super great looking anymore. He's like out of shape and shit now.
Yeah.
Like I feel
Oh,
like
he gets the dad bod. His dad bod.
yeah,
yo?
he does have a dad bod. When he was like, I mean, when he was like young, like Titanic, like he was a good looking guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
Even
definitely, like,
6 years
pulled.
ago, he looked pretty good.
yeah,
For his age, yeah.
but it's like I don't know. It's like definitely like drugs and stuff like that. Like I feel like that's how most celebrities
Yeah,
are.
he got
Yeah.
that shit on him. He got.
How old is he now?
He's in
probably
his
50s,
He's like early 50s, late 40s.
something like that. Yeah.
I thought he was like 60 or something.
Nah, he's
definitely
not.
not
He's
his
not
60s.
that.
No, because I
old.
know he's like one of those people who looks super young. People like conspiracy, have conspiracy.
Dude,
like
I almost-
consumes fucking
2020,
virgin
he
blood or
was
something.
45, so he's only 49 now.
Yeah, I was
Oh,
saying
okay.
he's definitely like late 40s, early 50s.
Dude, I
'Cause he was like 20 when the Titanic came out.
I almost cried watching that movie.
I haven't ever actually sat down and watched it.
Dude,
You
it was,
never watched
I just-
Titanic for real?
No, I
it was
haven't.
so sad. I was watching it. The thing was, it was like I was. This is so fucked. I was watching it with some girl that I just like was not super emotionally invested in.
Okay.
And we were watching that shit, and it was like the scene where the song comes on or whatever. Like I'm on top of the world, and I was like, damn, bro. I do not fuck with this girl. I was like, this is not my Rose. Getting emotional over
Damn.
there. I was like, dude, fuck.
Why
Why
am
am I
I
here? No, literally. I
Pay
was
me
like,
like one of your French
I was
girls.
like, what am I doing,
okay,
bro?
I guess.
And then I was like, all right, I'm going home. I gotta tap out. I'll see you.
Did you finish the movie at least?
Nope.
You had the moral decision of like,
It's
you
a
know
very
what?
introspective movie.
You
Yeah.
sat through the movie and didn't even care enough to make it to the iceberg.
He
That's
came to his
crazy.
conclusions
Like
already.
no shade to the girl. It just I knew it wasn't going anywhere. I was going through a bad time in my life too. I was like smoking weed every night, fucking kind of like just being dumbass. Like I don't know what I was doing. I was on some like mental tweaker shit, but
I mean, at least now you're able to like look back on it, realize that it wasn't good.
Now I'm like, yeah, it was
yeah,
kinda
you're like,
funny,
damn,
though.
what the fuck was I doing? But
Yeah. That's maturity. That's
Yeah.
yeah.
I think everyone has a phase they're not proud of.
Oh, for sure. Like
For
that's mine. Like I fucking smoked weed every night for like, dude, almost a year. It was like I look back on it and I'm like, I wasted a year of my life. And that shit, like people always say like, oh, weed's not addictive. Weed's not addictive. Like, motherfucker, I couldn't go to sleep without smoking. Like,
Crazy.
bro, like I literally was like,
Yeah.
I mean, if I didn't have weed, I would hit up every single person I knew
Yeah.
to go buy some.
This is one of those like
I was
weed's not
like,
addictive guys.
I've never
plenty
had
of
that
arguments
experience.
about
What you're
this
saying
before.
is so alien to me.
Yeah, because to me, it's like I think weed is more addictive than like nicotine. Like,
Really?
Nicotine, it's like it's nice, but like
That's something I haven't heard.
That's what I
Yeah, I
haven't
haven't
heard
heard that either.
But it might be a case
because
by case thing.
I think I fall more into like behavioral addictions, like drinking and like weed or like hit me harder because of like.
Well, you do it in like a social environment and stuff too.
Yeah,
That does
and
influence
that's
it.
the thing, and that's the thing. Like I feel like for me, it's like I never had a problem. Like I would like smoke every now and then, or like take an edible every now or then. It wasn't until I started doing it just like by myself, like at my own crib, that it became an issue.
Okay,
because then it's like it loses. Like I had a roommate who was he was like Islamic. He was from Pakistan, and they like would do like hookah, and like for them, it's like because like I feel like Islam is pretty like anti like drugs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But for them, like the reason they do hookah is because it's like a community experience, right? Like it's more of a social thing, and like hookahs don't hit hard. Like they have nicotine, but you're not really getting
Actually,
like super
the only
buzzed.
time I've ever had a Nick Buzz was from a hookah,
Really?
but I did hit it like 25 times.
See, yeah.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
It's like not like anything extreme. It's just like a social thing, and I feel like drugs and things like that can be used in a social aspect, but it's like when you start using them as like a crutch, like a fallback, that's when it becomes an issue.
Yes,
Because
I
that's
believe
what
that,
like weed became for me. It was just like I
was
was
relying on it.
well, first of all, I had my undiagnosed thyroid stuff, so I just felt like shit all the time. And
Weed
didn't-
will make
and-
you feel
and didn't
better.
know why. And like weed would like,
Yeah.
I would just feel better.
I will say to that, like, weed has never been a crutch for me personally.
Yeah.
So I guess that's probably more about how I feel about it. Because I've never been like, damn, I just need to fucking smoke. I've always been like,
See,
I'll
yeah.
choose if I want to.
Yeah.
So then, is there a
That's how I
reason why
was.
you smoke by yourself still?
Because I want to. That's literally, I don't have like this dying urge. So like, I've stopped for like months at a time though. So that's why I do it. Because I just choose to.
Yeah,
It's not like I've never been in like any place or social setting where I don't have weed on me and thinking like, gotta get away from these motherfuckers.
Different people are more susceptible to being like addictive and stuff.
for
than
sure,
others.
dude. And like
Definitely,
that was my
definitely.
thing is I just could not stop fucking smoking. Like when I quit, I couldn't sleep for like 3 days, dude.
Damn.
It was bad, but I realized that I was only doing it because I was unhappy with like my own life. I was unhappy with where I was in life.
If you do it to cope, that's where you start.
That's why I feel like that's
Yeah.
where it comes from.
like I would just have a shitty day, like every single day, and I'd be like, "Well, so if I smoke, it'll make it better." And like, I'm like, but it's like I'm glad I've experienced stuff like that because it's like now Like I feel like
Yeah.
that's important. I'm not saying everyone should be addicted to something. It's best if you're just like never addicted to anything.
Yeah,
But,
Yeah.
like that'll be the.
But it's important to understand how
exactly.
your
Like
train
it
of thought
gave me
gets
an
there.
understanding
Yeah.
of it, and it gave me like appreciation for like honestly just life. Like I like had to. It took like 2 months for me to like reappreciate like
Yeah.
life
Yeah.
being sober.
And when you
That's
do that,
good.
you're able to like relearn how to discipline yourself.
Yeah,
and everything,
exactly.
too.
And a lot of it too is like, it's like scientific, right? Like you look at the chemicals in your brain, like you look at the dopamine hit you get from like drugs and stuff. And it's like when you're constantly filling your brain with this like dopamine hit from smoking weed, it's like you don't recover. The way dopamine works is you peak and then you fall back down below baseline. So like when you're constantly just hitting yourself with these signals of dopamine, first of all, it gets blunted. It's not going to feel as good as it did like the first time. But then also nothing else is going to feel as good because it's not giving you the same dopamine hit that like the smoking is or whatever.
You're chasing the dragon.
Yeah. So it's like, it took me a while to get out of that, but like now it's like a good thing because like, and like now it's like, I could probably like smoke a joint and be like, fine. Like I wouldn't like, I don't think weed's addictive in a like chemical way, right? Like if I smoked a joint,
It's
I'm
a
not going to be,
crutch.
I'm not
Yeah.
going to be craving it after that. You know what I'm saying?
But
like,
now you have the discipline to know not to go ahead and like
yeah. And
go
like, I don't
crazy
even-
with it.
It's just like, I feel like when you get so deep, it's like, that's when it becomes an issue.
Drugs are escaping, so if you need to escape, I will not lie. Weed is a good escaping drug. If you have problems, weed
Dude.
will mellow that shit the fuck out.
Oh, exactly. And like the issue became that because that's how it started. It's like it would soothe my anxiety, like all that sort of thing. Like, well, the issue then became that I would start getting anxious when I was on
Because
it.
you no longer have that thing taking it away. So it makes you more anxious that you don't have it.
Exactly. And then I would be anxious when I was sober. And so I'd smoke to try to not be anxious. And then it'd make
That
me
makes you
even more
more
anxious. And it's like a just
Negative feedback loop.
self-perpetuating
Yep.
cycle, you know?
Yeah.
But
I'll speak to that. I've never, I empathize with you, but I've never had that personally. So I guess when I say that, I'm coming from a place of like, I've only ever chosen to do drugs of my own volition because I just wanted to.
And it's like a behavioral thing. Like it's like drinking. Like some people alcohol will develop alcoholism from drinking too much. Some people will drink every single weekend when they're in college and then never drink again.
Yeah.
You know? It just depends on the person.
It's like for me, I have to have like hard rules for myself like that too. Like I try to limit myself as much as possible to having like only social stuff like that.
Yeah.
And even now, like I pretty much like hard cut off drinking and stuff like that.
Yeah, I only really drink if I like go out with friends. Like I've never understood the like drinking by yourself because like I've never like
what's the enjoyment of that?
Yeah, like why that's just not fun to me. Like for me, drinking is fun because I like fuck around with you fuck around with your friends, whatever, blah blah blah. But like just drinking by yourself is so weird.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Just to
I don't
be
think it's
like,
weird.
It just sounds
I mean,
sad.
I'll be a little contemporary.
It
I've had, like-
seems it feels depressing as fuck.
I've had
Like,
drinks by myself, but I'm like doing something else. I'm not like just sitting there
I'll be
drinking.
devil's
Yeah.
advocate. Like I feel
I'm like on my computer playing games,
See, but for
or I'm
me-
like painting something.
for me,
and I'm
like,
drinking, and it just
drinking
mellows me out.
while I'm doing
same
something
thing.
else.
That'll be like
Yeah.
my equivalent of weed is how you drink. Just mellows out your chill. Like
I don't do it all the time. It's like very rare.
Yeah.
For me, like drinking does not enhance what I'm doing.
I have to be in like a mood to just like I want to mellow out right
Drinking only enhances like social situations for me. It does not enhance like day-to-day things. So like I cannot like if I'm just sitting around having a drink, I think it's stupid. But like weed would enhance whatever I was doing. So that's like it became something I just do by myself and like I don't know.
There was a point in the 90s where the Japanese government encouraged people like before they went to the office was to like take a shot of sake.
Really?
Or like take a shot of alcohol with their coffee in the
like to
morning.
take the
Yeah.
nerves off. Let's take
Well, just make them more social.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's also different because that's like such a low dose. Like sake is like nothing. Like,
Yeah.
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 On the light,
It's not like
lightweights,
they
you're
still were like
fine.
encouraging people to just like drink a bit to where you feel a little more mellow.
But they
Yeah,
also encourage like
exactly.
drinking with the boss. Drinking does create more of a better teamwork environment because you are more loose. So I guess that makes sense.
I think we should have a government mandated daily shot of tequila for everyone.
Have y'all ever seen that guy on
Right
TikTok?
before we get our keys and drive.
Exactly. Yeah.
He's like, oh man, my old life. I used to drink a handle of vodka every morning, and then I'm drunk as shit going into work, making $50,000 a month, fucking my secretary, and then I do cocaine to like sober up and like blah blah blah. And he's like a recovered addict or something.
Yeah.
But he always tells these stories about it and like trying to make it sound bad, but like everyone in the comments is like, dude, you're gonna get me into drugs. Like that sounds awesome.
Dude, they were just slobbing on my shit, bro. I didn't even know
He's
which
like,
girl
I'm
was which.
fucking the
That's the
secretary
Wolf
in
of
the
Wall
closet.
Street for
like,
a lot of people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people take the wrong stuff away from that movie, from what I understand.
Yo, his life was lit. I need to get that.
It did look
Yeah.
pretty lit, but no, I don't know. I think weed's interesting because like now I like don't even like weed anymore. Like it's like I feel like and I'll tell you why. It's because every single person I know that like smokes weed every day, like for the most part, is just like they don't do anything with their life. And like I think there's some people that can they can smoke and function, but I couldn't. Like if I smoked, I was like out of commission. I had to sit and do something chill, like where I didn't think. And like most of the people I know that are like hooked on weed, smoke every day, they're like going nowhere. You know what I'm saying?
And it's not because of the weed; it's the other way around. Like they're smoking the weed because they're not going anywhere.
Exactly.
A lot of the time.
But I do think it kills your ambition. Like it would kill my motivation. Like I feel so much more motivated for life, like sober, than I ever like would smoking.
Yeah.
Like smoking was terrible. I wish I would have like never started.
Valid. That's interesting. I was gonna say I have another thing. I have a friend from New York, and he's like that entire city runs on cocaine. So like there are functioning drug addicts who just
Well, I
take
think
coke
cocaine's
and do
different
shit.
because coke's
I'm
a
just saying drugs in
it's a
general.
stimulant.
Well, Adderall is like basically prescription cocaine, prescription methamphetamine.
Yeah.
That makes sense to a degree. But I was saying, because I know, like, no one's going to say they're a functional alcoholic, but people can drink every day to some degree and they're fine. It's more of like certain people can be fine, but it's like how we said, like with children, everything, it's a case by case basis. Like some people can have higher levels of whatever hormone and that should kill a motherfucker, but they're just like,
I
there's
don't think
people.
there's a reason why you should need alcohol and weed to function.
I'm not saying
Yeah.
you need it to.
Like that you're coping, you're making excuses.
I wasn't
Yeah.
saying you need it. I'm just saying you're fine with it. Like,
Yeah, this is an
you're fine with
intervention,
it.
Fonzo.
Oh my God.
After weed is legalized at the federal level, I can almost guarantee you that cocaine is like right after it.
Oh, yeah, that's gonna be the next big push.
Most
Yeah,
definitely.
exactly.
Dude, that's I haven't really thought about that, but that's kind of insane.
Yeah.
Because it's
I've always heard that. It's like right after marijuana, cocaine's next.
Dude, what?
Yeah, because I mean, I don't think Like cocaine is
legal cocaine is fucking insane.
Cocaine is obviously like more extreme than weed, but it's still not like meth or something.
I mean,
you know?
yeah.
I think it's very likely that's going to.
I mean,
Well,
Well,
it depends on the
it.
culture too. Like a
Yeah.
lot of Hispanic cultures, like they view like cocaine's a lot more prevalent. So they
cocaine's
like,
a rich people drug.
and
Yeah.
a lot of like
It's a party drug.
Yeah.
like there are cultures that perceive weed as like worse than cocaine. Like if you do a line,
Yeah.
it's like whatever. It's like, but if you smoke weed, they're like they freak the fuck out.
Well, I mean,
Really?
I guarantee you, it's those cultures where it's like more like discipline heavy.
Yeah.
Where you're more likely to like go ahead and like be lazy all day because you smoke weed.
Yeah.
Whereas with cocaine, you're more likely to go and just want to fucking work.
Lock the
Yeah,
fuck
dude.
in.
Yeah.
I almost think it's better. I think cocaine's better than weed. Then I mean, I've never done cocaine to be honest.
I have not done
but
cocaine.
I haven't either.
I mean, even Adderall abuse will do like permanent damage to your brain, so it is more dangerous than marijuana.
yeah.
I'll say
See,
that.
that's the one thing about weed is it doesn't necessarily fuck you up long term
It
the way those
doesn't.
other
The thing is,
drugs
like,
will.
can
if you
induce
green out, your
psychosis.
body avoids it by you vomiting. Same thing with alcohol. With like these stimulants like Adderall and cocaine, you don't have that.
You just
don't-
It
overdose.
just
Oh,
permanently
you don't
fucks with
vomit
your
up?
brain.
Like, I guess you don't. You wouldn't with coke.
No, with
Yeah.
you don't vomit it up.
It affects your brain. So
Yeah,
it's
Well, so
like
does
when,
weed.
when people overdose on
On a different
cocaine,
level,
it's
though.
because they poison their central nervous system, but their body won't void it.
Yeah.
You know?
Interesting. Yeah, I feel like weed, like, it's not like alcohol, you do some real damage to your body if you're like a
Oh, yeah.
hardcore alcoholic. Like weed, it's like
I would say weed is a tier below alcohol.
you can, yeah, I agree. I think weed is like
It's safer than
not
alcohol.
as hardcore of a drug as alcohol. I just think it's not as normalized.
Yeah.
And I think part of that is culture because it makes you lazy typically. So people like,
So does alcohol.
Why it's,
Yeah. I don't know.
I could be way more productive drunk than like high. But that's just me, I
I
guess.
can see that.
I was the opposite. I would say I'm way more productive high than like I would be drunk or on cocaine. Maybe not cocaine though. I would have to fact check.
You think
that
you're
one.
more productive when you're high as opposed to being sober?
About the same, honestly. Because I already have like for me my my best work is like in 3-hour bursts. Is all I do
Yeah,
that
yeah,
way.
yeah.
So like either way.
That's normal, by the way.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
that's normal.
Yeah, you're not like there are no studies that show that you work better over a period of 8
Oh,
hours.
then I was like my best work is always in 3
like
hours.
you always burn out
Yeah.
after 3 or 4.
So like either
That's
way,
why
that's
people
what
have been
it's the
saying we
same.
need like shorter work weeks and stuff.
yeah.
Bernie Sanders was arguing for like a 32-hour work week, but like the same amount of pay you would make for 40. And I was like, nigga.
Where's that money finna come from though?
Yeah, that's the
more for
real
less.
question. Yeah. So
Yeah, I don't know. It is crazy to me. Like people talk about California sober, which is like literally just
California
What is
sober?
that?
What does that mean?
it means you drink, you smoke weed, and you do nicotine, but you don't do hardcore drugs because like
Oh,
hardcore
okay.
drugs are so normalized that being sober, like California sober, you still do all those things.
Oh, I see.
Which is insane because like
Yeah.
you ever been crossed and then hit a vape?
No.
You just fucking die, bro. like I've been crossed in like one hit of nicotine and I just fucking like I'm on the ground spinning and I'm like
Well,
this
because
is
you got
like
3 different substances.
that's what I'm saying,
inside
but this
of
is
you, yeah.
that's what California sober is, dude. Like that's fucking
Just slaying
crazy.
that
Just-
shit
people
down
do that
and
shit
keep
every single day and then go and just get fucking like avocado toast or some shit.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm just like,
they
dude,
just
like,
go out for coffee.
like,
Like,
Maybe
I-
that's why it's a failed state.
I love sobriety. Like I like in this day and age, sobriety is so underrated, dude. Like
is.
it's
Yeah, I would say
like
that.
being sober is
Dude, I'm in the medical
amazing.
field. I can't do that stuff.
yeah.
Like being sober
Or
is
is that
awesome.
like an actual requirement? I didn't know that.
Well, no, like I get drug tested. I can't do that.
No,
Yeah,
no,
this is my
like,
job.
Yeah.
That's how it goes. I feel like at my work the only thing that would is normalized is like nicotine.
Think like
That makes sense.
Okay.
Like in any type of construction, nicotine is just
That
like,
would make sense.
Yeah, I would say in HVAC is the same thing. Like pretty much everyone I've met there does some kind of like vape.
they either
thing
vape or like
that.
a lot. It's Zins.
Now, do you feel like
It's
that's part of the
Zins.
escapism of hating their job? Or you feel like they just enjoy it?
Nah, I think it just keeps you going through the workday. Like I'm not gonna lie, over the summer, like before I like got medicated for my thyroid stuff, this is like it was like the worst my energy levels had been. Like I was I was like damn near falling asleep at work every day. Like I was like on my commute home, I was like about to pass out every single day. Like dude, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I was ripping Zins to get through the day because like it kept me wired, like it kept me awake, and I was like it was probably
Yeah,
bad for
I'm
me, but like
all the older guys in that industry, they always talk about how much they hate their jobs.
Mm-hmm.
All the younger guys, they're always vaping and shit. And the older guys, I guarantee they go home and they fucking get shit faced drunk
Oh, yeah.
after and everything.
Yeah.
So I mean, I feel like everyone there is doing something to like
Get by.
get by.
But I feel like that's also because, like, I guess, well, going back into the whole thing with like addiction and drugs and stuff, there is a deeper problem when you abuse it and stuff like that. It's because you're trying to get a deeper meaning out of life.
Oh, yeah.
You want something that you can't have, so you take the cheaper, easier,
Exactly.
and the higher dopamine short payoff, like whatever the term, like low risk, high reward type.
It's like the instantaneous dopamine instead of the long term.
It's an easy way to feel happy.
Yeah. Well, as someone in that industry who doesn't do that stuff, it's tempting to.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh,
like
yeah.
sometimes I'm like, damn, like maybe I should just get a vape or something. I'm like, no, nah, I'm not gonna do all that.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes like I'm like, this sucks. You know, trying to go through like a fucking 12-hour workday or something like that. I'm like, yeah, this sucks. So like I totally understand why people do it. And like I see the temptation as to like why a lot of people get started going down that path and stuff.
I think the key is just create a life where you have just so much joy out of your own life that you don't need to rely on any of these substances to bring you joy. And I think that was like the key thing I felt like I fucking learned from my whole little 8-month excursion. But
Yeah,
That's good.
well, and having like the ambition and everything like gets you on that path and
Yeah.
everything to begin with too.
Exactly. It is crazy to think about life. Like I don't where we're gonna be in the next like 5 years.
Yeah.
Like I think about that a lot because I just like no clue. Like what am I even gonna be doing? Like I'll probably be doing something in engineering, but like it's kind of insane. Like shit, dude, I could like be married in 5 years. Who knows?
You never know.
Yeah, you probably haven't even met the person you're gonna be married to, but you could still be married in like less than 5 years.
Yeah, like it's so wild to me.
You could have kids in 5 years.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Be homeless in 5 years.
Bro,
Dude.
Yeah.
thanks, Darren.
Shit, you could be dead.
That's what I like to hear. Sometimes, homeless being like, it seems like it'd be fun sometimes.
Living off the land, it's like camping
You're like
forever.
a nomad.
I was watching a video earlier, like the Tyler Oliveira's new video about Alaska.
yeah,
Yeah, he went to the northernmost city in the U.S. and it's just inhabited by people who are Inuit natives, like that ethnicity.
Yeah.
And they still just like live off of the land. Like I mean, they have like modernized houses. They have Wi-Fi, electricity, plumbing, everything. Like they have iPhone like 15s and shit. You know? But they're still like, I mean, like all we eat is meat. I mean, we have like we hunt seal, we hunt whale, we hunt geese, ducks.
That's sick.
Yeah, like they
feel
don't
like-
have like carbs up there.
I feel like a primitive lifestyle like that would be so sick.
like
I can understand why someone would want to be homeless, as crazy as that sounds. Like I can get it.
It's like the freedom. Like I feel like you feel like you're breaking out of this.
a lot
system.
of homeless in California think like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like
exactly.
a rat race, and you're finally just not.
Like I can see the appeal of it in the moment, but I feel like the long term.
Long
it's
term
like-
is not good for you
Yeah,
I'm
at all.
like
disgusted
that's
by
tall.
it.
Like long term, I feel like not that you need a home, but it's going back to that thing of like how we talk about like we can give your inhibitions, alcohol can do it. Like once at a certain point, your freedom becomes your cage. Like you're so free, you do nothing. Like you had like
I think you need a place to piss and shit that isn't right in front of me in the street.
that's
Yeah, fair enough.
that's
Dude.
But I mean, if you're one of those people who doesn't have those inhibitions and everything, like you're one of those people who like already struggles to have the motivation to do stuff, who has no reason to want to go to work and stuff like that. I mean,
That means you need an intervention.
yeah, you do, but like from their perspective, why not just be homeless? You know what I mean? That's kind of like how I see it for them.
Yeah, you gotta
It's
walk
like,
a mile in their shoes and that's something. You have to be like, what could make me go down this path if you don't have the right? Oh, because
it's easy to say like, oh, you should go get a job and get a house, and like, but if they don't want to deal with all that shit, like, why would they?
But
You know what
back
I
to
mean?
the whole thing we talked about earlier, free will. He brings up we had this whole free will discussion.
Okay.
Basically, the guy's arguing no free will because of this this type of thinking. If you grew up in a shitty environment, you become shitty. That is like a known thing. So it's like, where was your choice in that? Like your parents being on drugs and getting you addicted to drugs. Was that really your choice, or was that because it was around you and that's the only thing you knew? Being violence. If you grew up in a violent area, you're more prone to be violent because that's survival. So is it your fault that you're violent and prone to drugs? And then as you're violent and prone to drugs, you're more hostile around like I guess people who grew up in a cushier lifestyle. So you don't work well with others.
Yeah.
You have these own issues that you haven't really sorted out because no one in your environment sorted them out.
Exactly.
Now you're homeless. Is that your fault?
Right.
How do you judge every soul? How
You still have a
judge every
choice to
person?
get clean and make yourself better.
Exactly.
You can,
It's
but that's what I'm saying.
harder.
If you have no incentive to do so, then why would you?
I don't think. Like I think everybody has free will. I think at some point there has to be personal accountability because I think everyone has hardships in their life, some more than others, and I think that's just luck of the draw. Like it's unfortunate. Like some people just get like the shit side of stick. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I think. But I also think if you kind of say, oh, well, it's not my fault. I had all this and this and this, then you're never going to get past it. Like at some point, there has to be a moment when you're like, I was dealt a shitty hand of cards,
Take accountability.
make
but
it
I'm going to
work.
do the best I can.
Yeah,
with
and
it.
you make it work.
Yeah, and I feel like in my life, I was dealt a really fucking good hand of cards. Like I grew up in a like middle class area, like parents, like educated parents who like pushed me to be better.
I think relatively all four of us.
Yeah, like we're all like
very good position.
We're all smart. Like none of us are fucking morons. So it's like, I think it's your duty to do the best you can with that, right? Like that's why I'm going to school, like working, like all that sort of thing, because you can't squander that because like you said, other people weren't given those opportunities. So I think.
Use that privilege, bro.
Yeah, dead ass, bro. People talk about privilege.
Use your
like,
first world privileges. Let's not bring it race into this white privilege.
Exactly, bro.
First world privileges. Let's capitalize
just in general,
on that.
Absolutely. And I think, like, if you're like a homeless person, you could apply that. Like, I mean, obviously it's harder. I'm not gonna pretend I know what it's like to like grow up in that situation, but. At least I'm not getting fucking blown up, right? Like at least my family didn't just get blown up.
We don't wake up every morning to fucking
side.
bomb raid sirens or something.
Yeah, exactly. Like at least you live in a country where you have opportunities to get out of there. You know? Yeah. Because like, you know, I mean, other countries, if you're born like a peasant, like low class.
Bro, if you're born
a
woman in some places, that's life, dude. You know what I mean?
And I feel like if those people can find purpose in their life in even shittier situations, you can too.
That's a good way to say it.
Yeah. Like I think... The way I try to view my life is like anytime I like feel like I have like a hardship going on or I feel like, oh, I hate this is going wrong, you just gotta like, it's hard because it's human nature, right? But like you just gotta put it in context, like contextualize it and think, well, like there's always someone that has it worse. Like there may, like a lot of people tend to think, oh, there's always someone that has it better, but like there's always
someone who has it worse.
You're on a fucking scale, bro. Like there's always someone below you. You gotta,
So like I think just appreciate it. And you know, I understand that's easy for me to say because I do have a lot, but
it does take humility to really grow as a person, though. I believe that in all cases. I think that does also play into like problems with people. Is like how can you have humility in certain cases? If you had everything handed to you, do you really feel like you're not better than people? Versus if you had everything taken from you, do you not feel like life is out to get you?
I think too many people look at they kind of validate themselves. Like, oh, what am I doing right?
Okay.
And they just stick to that. But they never look at themselves and be like, what am I doing wrong?
Yeah.
I can see that.
You know?
Yeah. Like the reflection of like, okay, like you only focus on the positive, but you're like, okay, I still don't go outside enough. I still don't do XYZ. I still don't do X. I don't do the dishes every, you know, like there's problems that you should be.
I feel like that's how you get like these kids and these boomers that are like super stubborn. They never challenge themselves.
Yeah. No, I believe that.
You should challenge yourself.
There's zero humility in those people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
wait.
Will, we have a question for you.
Yes.
What's up?
So what is your dream?
My dream?
Yeah. With everything being said, what is your dream, your end goal?
Oh man.
Or your pinnacle? What do you want your pinnacle to be?
Bro, you want to know what like my like dead ass dream was? Like since I was a kid, it's like I just wanted to be like in an emo band, bro.
Yeah, there you go.
Like I'm doing all this school, all this working
so you're
out.
good at the
like,
guitar and
when
shit.
I was young, dude, I just wanted to be in a fucking band, man. That's all I wanted.
If you had the opportunity now, would you?
Fuck yeah, dude. That'd be sick. I feel like I just like don't devote enough time to it. Like it could probably be something I did, but
it's focus. It's what it comes down to. It's anecdotal because I saw this YouTube video on it, but the guy was just like, the best way to master multiple talents, focus on one.
Yeah.
As soon as you perfect the first thing, that's why like I'm doubling down this computer science.
Makes it easier to master the second because you learn how to learn.
Yes, you learn how to learn. That's exactly how you phrase it. You learn how to learn because you just spent all this time knowing that there's peaks and valleys in development and growth. And you've already went through that. So the next time you do it is like, all right, I know I'm gonna get stuck here, but I know it gets better.
Yeah.
Well, and to be honest, like now that you're going into like a field where you can't make a lot of money and everything, you'll have a lot of time to devote to practicing.
Especially doing management.
Exactly.
So you always have to make sure they're working right.
See,
and you're still 21. You're young.
It is funny though. So I would say that's more like the childhood dream. I feel like I've like matured some now. Like I feel like at this point it's like honestly like dude, I feel like it's not even like anything insanely good, but I want to be like, I just want to make good money, be able to support like a family like comfortably.
Just want to live, bro.
Hot ass wife that I love.
You want to live, bro.
Like, and then I want to have kids that like kids where I can be like the ideal father. You know what I'm saying? Like be like strong father figure in a world full of fucking pussies. You know? Like,
Oh yeah.
So what do you think is the ideal father that you would be then?
I'm curious.
Dude, honestly I think about my dad a lot. Like he was like great father. Like that's good. I mean, we have the same name, which I think is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Right? Like I'm a fifth.
Yeah.
I mean, I think like my dad and my grandpa, like they're both just like, when I think of kind of like the pinnacle of like what a man should be, like I think of them because like, you know, they're like very like masculine and like dominant, but they're not like aggressive.
They're
you
not
know what I'm saying?
tyrants.
They're like,
They're hard, but they're fair.
They're strong enough to
and
be
they're
gentle.
yeah, exactly. They're strong enough to be gentle, and they're like calm and have like humility and all that. So I feel like I was very fortunate to have like a strong like male role model in my life that like taught me a lot about like who I wanted to be as a man.
That's good.
And I feel like that's good because when you think about you should think about your father as like the father that your children would deserve. Like I feel like everyone should want to be like their dad, you know what I'm saying? And I think it's unfortunate a lot of people like don't have that.
Some people just don't have dads in general, so you just make that shit up on the fly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so I feel like for me it's like trying to be like as good of a father for my kids as he was for me, you know what I'm saying?
Are you gonna name one of your kids after you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If my first boy is gonna be William VI.
Yeah. There you go.
Which I think is kind of sick, but
There's 6 of y'all motherfuckers.
It was kind of hard not to
dude,
have
he
that
might be
your
the first
favorite.
Asian, bro. He might be the first.
Oh yeah.
The way things are going.
I appreciate you for coming and everything. It's
Hey,
been great.
Thanks for having me, boys. It's been good.
Yes, sir.
I'm kind of hungry right now.
All right, so Will,
too, actually.
Will, I gotta ask you another question.
Oh, yeah, what's
what do you
up?
know about cell rays?
Cellrays. Okay, so shout out to this episode's sponsor, Cellrays.
They don't sponsor us, but
They don't sponsor us, but we always shout them out
They're
because they're the
friends.
boys.
Yeah.
they're
Yeah,
the boys.
shout out Cellrays. So that's our good friends. So I went to high school with Tyler. We were the only 2 freshmen in our chem class freshman year. So we like became friends through that. Met Jeff in college. Super cool dudes. I think what they're doing over there is great. They got a great platform going on. Just genuinely good people. So
Yeah.
that's all. I
Yeah,
have to
well,
say about
cell
them.
rays, it's the easiest way to make money online. They say it's so easy your mom can do it.
So they say.
All you do is that you download their app for free, or you can go on their website, SELLRAZE. That's SELLRAZE, Cell Rays on the App Store or Google. Super easy to make an account, just like enroll with your phone number. And then basically you just, upload a photo of what you want, whatever you want to sell. And then they have an AI that'll automatically make a title, price, description for you. Then from there, it automatically will be uploaded to, your Amazon, your Walmart, your eBay, your Mercari, your Etsy account. Anywhere you want to sell products is already all automatically on there, automatically updates your inventory. Super handy. Check it out at sellrays.com.
Damn, you've been doing that plug a lot, haven't you?
Yeah.
You got that, you got
31
that-
episodes.
you got that shit on lock.
On God.
And don't forget to check us out on scat.cast on Instagram. You can DM us Q&As, DM us feedback. You can talk to us. I'll talk to you.
We talk back.
You check us out on
talking.
scat.clips on TikTok. Check out our clips. On
Scat.
YouTube, we're on
Maybe
YouTube
don't
now.
look up Scat.
If you're watching this on YouTube, we also have Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Music, wherever you listen to your podcast at Scat Cast. All right?
It's
Okay,
funny
I'm
that
done
you
now.
say that. I want when you Google scat clips,
Please.
I want us to be the first thing that pops up.
Yeah,
That's the goal here.
Instead of like fucking poop porn.
Yeah, exactly. I want us to be the first thing that pops up. I want to dominate the scat clips market. That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate everyone for listening. I appreciate you for coming out.
Dude, thank you guys for having me, bro. Hopefully I'll be back with Alex.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we were supposed to have our
Shout
other
out,
friend
shout out Alex
here.
for bailing. What the fuck, bro?
Would have been the first episode with 5 people, but
Yeah. Maybe in the future. We'll
It
see.
makes sense.
Other than then.
Maybe it's a good thing. He probably would have gotten some stories out of me you didn't want to hear.
Oh yeah, yeah. Definitely next time.
Yep.
It makes sense.